San silanganan, alon ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisiil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong buhaw, may dalagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng wataw at lu'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidinig. Lupa ng araw ng walhati ng sinta, huwag langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga atis na pumatay ng dahil sa'yo.
The special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day.
They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds.
I don't care if they call us crazy.
Run away to a world that we design. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Campus Press Awards. To start off, I'd like to introduce to you a very important person, and if there is one person among us today who knows how the press works and why it is called the fourth state, it is none other than the Manila Times President, Chief Executive Officer, and Executive Editor. Nicknamed Clink, which was given to him by his father, who was a fan of the American television sitcom Hogan's Heroes. His media career may have started when he attended Benedictine Abbey School in Muntinlupa in the early 1980s. His mettle in writing showed early while attending Sharpstown High School in Houston, Texas, USA, as assistant editor of the school paper, The Torch. He earned his Bachelor of Science in Journalism degree from Texas A&M University in 1990, where he was editor-in-chief both of the school paper, the East Texan, and the school magazine, The Special. For his outstanding work as campus journalist, he was awarded the Ray Holbrook Memorial Scholarship by the Dallas Press. He then worked as reporter for the Tulsa Tribune in Oklahoma, USA, covering state and local government, and later stateside issues of the Persian Gulf War. He came back to the country after his stint as Foreign Information Officer at the Philippine Consulate General Toronto in Canada. From Executive Vice President of the Manila Times Publishing Corporation, he became the President and CEO of the country's oldest newspaper in 2005. Under his leadership, the Manila Times was given a Super Brands Award 5 times and has won Newspaper of the Year by the Volunteer Against Crime and Corruption, or VACC, 3 times. Among the numerous recognitions he has received was the Outstanding Publisher Award by the Public Attorney's Office in 2014 and 2017. With all his busy schedules, he still finds to share his knowledge and skills in journalism in various academic institutions, including Thammasat University in Thailand as visiting professor. In March 2020, he was elected chairman of the National Book Development Board, or NBDB. Friends, fellow journalists, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you today the Manila Times President, CEO, and Executive Director, Mr. Dante Francis Ang II.
Thank you, Arlo Custodio, for that very lengthy introduction. I'm not sure I deserve all of that attention because I think our focus today should be on the next generation of professional journalists. Let me just say that it has not been easy to mount this event this year, given the pandemic that is still raging around the world. In fact, our COO had asked me earlier whether or not we should continue with the Campus Press Awards this year. And that difficulty, I think, was reflected by a diminished number of entries this year of only 404 coming from 42 schools. Compared to the previous Campus Press Awards, we had 620 entries from 65 participating schools. But we made a decision to push ahead with today's event, partly because this is our commitment, our modest contribution from the Manila Times to help cultivate the next generation of aspiring journalists. I think we see from events happening here and around the world why good journalism is so important. Not long ago, we saw a troubling event in the United States, largely triggered by misinformation, disinformation, coming mainly from social media. And of course, in the Philippines, similar arguments have been made about the impact or the influence of social media on our society. Many times people have raised concerns about the proliferation of fake news. And so if only for those things, I think we need to invest more in good journalism, in making sure that the next generation carries on this profession according to the standards that we need to keep our democracy alive. Now, as I said, this event, organizing this event has been difficult. It would not have been possible without the support of many people. First of all, I'd like to thank our marketing staff for putting up with me and listening to all of my nagging so that we would push ahead with this event. Thank you to our keynote speaker, Secretary Alex Saludo. I think he not only makes a fantastic role model for future journalists, having been, of course, editor at Asia Week, one of my favorite publications when I was just starting out in journalism. He is also, as you know, a regular columnist at the Manila Times. I think more importantly is, I would like to say, the moral voice of the Manila Times. Thank you also to our other speaker, Faith Del Mundo. I call her F. Remembering her days at the Manila Times College, I'm glad to see that her career is prospering at TV5. And of course, congratulations to her on the recent addition of her in her family, the birth of her second child. I think she too makes a fantastic role model, particularly for women wanting to enter journalism and women who are trying to find balance between work, professional work, and their family life. Thank you also to our sponsor, Huawei Philippines, and of course our event partner, Universal Robina Corporation. And of course, thank you to all of those participating in this event today. On behalf of the Manila Times, congratulations to all of the winners. In my book, whether or not you are receiving a certificate today, I think all of the participants are winners. It has not been easy for the schools. First, with the delay in the school opening, and also in continuing their journalism program despite the pandemic. I know as a publisher of a national newspaper, it has not been easy, but we forge ahead because it is our job. But you guys, the student journalists who are participating today, you are forging ahead because it seems to be this is your passion. I hope the Manila Times helps you in nurturing that passion. We have the Campus Press section in the Manila Times, which, as you know, can be a landing page for your work, for you to get a byline in a national newspaper. I encourage all of you to contribute stories in that weekly section of the Manila Times. And of course, I'd like to remind those, as we have done in the previous Campus Press Awards, those who today will be welcome in the Manila Times as either paying contributors, correspondents, and of course, we would welcome you once you graduate into our ranks in this very proud and very old newspaper, the Manila Times. Again, congratulations to everyone. I greet all of you. Good afternoon and Happy New Year. And I look forward to congratulating all of the winners today. And last but not least, let me introduce Carlo Custodio. I think he forgot to introduce himself. He is one of the editors who are responsible for putting out the the campus press section. Those who are watching this program either on our website, on our social media platform, of course, you can read more about today's event in our paper tomorrow. Those stories also will be carried in our online edition. And if you are still having problems getting the Manila Times, a copy of the Manila Times because of the restrictions in travel, and of course, the restrictions in going out, I encourage all of you to subscribe to the digital edition of the Manila Times. It is probably the most convenient way to get the news of the day here and abroad, and it is offered to you at a very low price of only about 2 pesos a day. So thank you again, everyone, and congratulations to all.
Thank you so much, Sir Klink. Of course, I'm not alone in this chore. Together with me in this momentous event for Filipino campus journalists is another gentleman of distinction and honor, the Manila Times College Associate Director, Dr. Richmond Viray. Hi, Richmond.
Hello, sir.
How is
Hello,
it
sir.
visiting the Manila Times after how many months? 10 months?
Sir, it has been ages. And, there is something magical about this place, and it's not tangible. Being here, I just feel an incredible sense of excitement and anticipation. And I know that all of our participants wishes to be here as well.
Okay, we welcome them. As Sister Circling said, we welcome them as contributors, as correspondents. And when they graduate, they are welcome to join our ranks. Okay, despite the crisis, we think that there are establishments out there who value the works of our young media practitioners. This event is made even more meaningful by their participation. Of course, I'm talking about our sponsors.
Yes, sir. A big thanks to Huawei Philippines as one of our sponsors today. As you all know, Huawei is the leading global provider of information and communications technology infrastructure and smart devices. In fact, Sir Arlo, I am a proud Huawei user.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, and thank you too to Universal Robina Corporation, that's URC. I'm sure many of our students, as well as our colleagues, we munch on fun snacks. drink healthy drinks, and cook noodles while studying or working. URC products are as popular as usage of social media nowadays. We have the Jack Angel chips and biscuits. We have C2, we have Vitasoy, Hello, Max Candy, Nissan Cup Noodles, and Palis Pancit Canton. Oh, everybody knows those products. And we also have Great Taste Coffee. And of course, these are all part of the Filipino life for decades. Richmond, for the sake of those encountering what this event is all about for the first time, what is this Campus Press Awards?
The Campus Press Awards aims to recognize the works of student journalists as well as inspire them to continue developing their interest in journalism. The Manila Times and the Manila Times College believe that good journalists are asset to this country, and our newspaper and college want to contribute to the development of future writers, photographers, and other professionals in the media industry.
Okay, this is now the fourth edition of the Campus Press Awards. Had there been no pandemic, for sure we are enjoying one another's company in the main function hall of a popular hotel in Manila right now, just like last year.
But Sir Arlo, restrictions could not hinder us in holding this event. We are here at the Manila Times editorial while our colleagues, judges, awardees, nominees, and the participants are in the comfort of their homes watching us now virtually.
I'm sure thousands of students, their mentors, their families and friends are as excited as us here in the Manila Times office and to know who are the winners in this year's Campus Press Awards.
We gathered a total of 404 entries from 42 schools, vying for 11 categories. Toward the end of this program, we will know who and from what school wins as Best News Story, Best Feature Story, Best Sports Story, Best Photography, Best Editorial, Best Column, Best Editorial Cartoon, Best Literary Piece for Short Story, Poetry or Essay, Best Layout Design, Best Student News Website, and of course, Best Student Publication.
Okay, just like in the Oscars, okay, the finale would be the best student newspaper. Okay, first set of criteria for judging are newsworthiness, level of difficulty, originality, and grammar.
Second set criteria for judging are style, visual appeal, and flair, and composition structure.
Okay, in both high school and college divisions, works are judged separately for English and Filipino. But Richmond, I think we have now our guest speaker.
Yes, sir. Our keynote speaker brings to the Manila Times decades of public affairs expertise in Asian media, the Philippine government, and strategic consulting. He was the editor-writer with the Makati Business Club from 1982 to 1984 and Asia Week magazine from 1984 to 2001 and radio TV host with the National Broadcasting Network from 2004 to 2008. He was cabinet secretary in the Arroyo administration from 2002 to 2008. Civil Service Commission chairman from 2008 to 2009. Secretary for the Ondoy and Pepeng reconstruction and presidential spokesperson from 2009 to 2010. An Ateneo de Manila University alumnus, he also holds an MS in Public Policy and Management from the Oriental and Africa Studies, University of London, a postgraduate diploma in Strategy and Innovation from Oxford University's said Business School, certificates in Business Leadership, Financial Management, and Change Leadership from Cornell University, and Risk Governance from Singapore's Enterprise Risk Management Academy. After Sacred Scripture Studies with the Catholic Distance University, Saludo is taking doctoral studies in theology and ministry with Ateneo and Durham University, number 4, worldwide in religious study. He is the founding president and CEO of the Center for Strategy, Enterprise, and Intelligence, which provides strategic advisory, research, executive education, and media services. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ricardo Saludo.
Maraming salamat, Richmond, and salamat din, President Klink, at sa lahat ng Manila Times yung pag-anyaya dito sa inyong Campus Press Awards. Dalang nagsalita rito ang isa nating kasamahan nung tayo ay nasa Hong Kong, si Jaime Flor Cruz of Time Magazine. And I remember visiting him and si Ambassador Santa Romana when we joined the Duterte visit to Beijing in 2017. I'll talk about two things that I hope will be helpful to our journalists, whether they proceed on to professional journalism or take other careers. First, I'll talk about my own career and how I got into journalism and where I went to while still maintaining my press work. And then I'm going to talk about a problem that is now emerging in global media, which actually I wrote about in my column yesterday. So when people were asking me, do I have a copy of my speech, I said, read the Thursday column. So, about myself, I recall that when I was a child, I was playing around with journalism. I remember typing out a little kind of play newsletter, and the unfortunate title, if you look at it as a journalist today, the unfortunate title was The Daily Gossiper. But it was full of whatever news I could gather around the house, and that was my first introduction to journalism. In grade school, I always in high school, all the way to college, I always wanted to join the school paper, but I never did. For some reason, I never kind of made it. No, in high school, I did put together our yearbook, the blue book of Ateneo High School. The unfortunate thing is there were production problems, publication problems that delayed the book, and it didn't come out until about years later. So that was the unfortunate thing. But I did put together the material, and it was ready. It was supposed to be published, but for some reason it was not. Then in college, I was more a literary rather than a journalistic writer. I was one of the editors of Heights, the literary magazine of Ateneo College. And I was one of the two founding editors of Matanglawin, which is the Filipino journal of the College of Arts and Sciences. It's still around. So it started with us. I remember going to Dean Father Bonoan to request funding for the publication, and he agreed, and so the Matanglawin was born. And we were quite happy putting out that Filipino paper. After college, I was in education. I was teaching at the college and also at the National Arts Center, where I taught theater, history, and Filipino. Then I got really into, again, literary writing and theater at the Ateneo College. I was artistic director of Tanghalang Ateneo, and was writing and translating plays and directing them. So my work was really more in the literary and dramatic field. However, as part of just making ends meet, I was a young family man. I got married at 22. Don't copy that, please. Wait for much later. But I had a second job as a managing editor of the Makati Business Club economic papers. That was my second work, and that was my introduction to journalism professionally. So we put out a monthly newsletter that included economic and business articles. And after that, God took hold of my life. I'd have to say that because I was planning to go to the States, like Klink, study there. I meant to take a master's in public policy at the University of Chicago. I took the TOEFL, the test of English as a foreign language, and I was about ready to take the graduate record exam when I was called by, I had applied on the fly. I just applied, one of the many who applied for this job at Asia Week that was advertised in the papers around soon after the Aquino assassination in 1983. So I applied, never really expecting to be taken, because I have heard that pretty much every seasoned journalist in town had applied for that job, as you would expect. But they called me and interviewed me, and the following year, in April of 1984, I was hired. I was there in their offices. So again, I say that as a turn of fate. I find myself in my life wanting to go a certain direction, and then God opens a door that I never knew existed, and it's a much better direction than I can ever think of. This happened several times in my life. So what did I learn from my Asia Week years? Well, of course, world-class journalism, including making sure there are no conflicts of interest, writing in a very concise way, because Asia Week had only so many pages, and we needed to put in as much information as we could in every article. So no fluff in the writing. And how do you do that? How do you raise up the quality of your English? Well, my English was not good enough to begin with. In fact, after 3 months of probation, the managing editor then said that I needed another 6 weeks to prove myself. My English was not good enough. And how did I improve? Well, this is the piece of advice that I give to everyone. Read great journalism. That's the way you learn how to write good stories. And that's how I learned. I read, the top papers, and in particular, the Wall Street Journal, or at that time called the Asian Wall Street Journal, really taught me how to write engaging stories that also conveyed facts and analysis. And that was how I rose up the ranks in Asia Week until I became, before I left, assistant managing editor. And so, it's really a case of, just sharpening your skill day in, day out, and at the same time, exposing yourself to the best in writing, whether it's books or articles, or now social media is full of material as well. And now you actually have to be not just a print person, but ready and able to do other kinds of use other kinds of media. And I was fortunate when I was in Asia Week to have also done television specials with CNN, which was a sister media entity of Time Magazine that Asia Week was part of. So one thing that happened to me in Asia Week, I actually felt at one point that I did not want to be continuing magazine editing. In the year 2000, I felt I did not see myself doing that for more than 5 years out. And so I was already getting ready to go into the internet. At that time, the internet was very new. And so I took a course in e-commerce. I was getting ready to really move heavily into the internet. When the change in government happened in Manila, Joseph Estrada fell and Gloria Arroyo took over. And this is one of those things, again, where I was headed in a particular direction, and God opens a different door, which is the door I took. So I joined the Arroyo cabinet, first as Undersecretary for Policy Affairs with the Presidential Management Staff, and then as Cabinet Secretary, the position now held by Carlo Nograles. I didn't do music videos the way he's lately been doing. Which is actually, I probably should have learned to be more hip, but good for him, he's doing that. Anyway, I recall my interview with Vicky Garchitorena when they invited me for interview, and her first question was, "How is your Filipino?" He didn't ask me about my work at Asia Week. The question was, "How is your Filipino?" Apparently, at that time, they needed a Filipino speechwriter, and my answer was, "Better than my English," which was a fact. My college degree was Bachelor of Literature, Arts in Literature in Filipino. So my Filipino is actually better than my English. Those of you who know about my dramatic career, I've written 2 verse plays, full-length plays in Filipino. One about Saint Francis of Assisi, another one about revolutionaries, Tulisanes who became revolutionaries in the Philippine Revolution. In fact, as a journalist, I would want to eventually do more Filipino writing. Anyway, that was G. Garchitorena's question. And the last thing I told her, or one of the things I told her, is that I did not want to be in media relations. See, the natural thing that they would put me, being a former editor of the Asia Week, is to put me in the press office. I specifically said I did not want to be in the press office. I wanted to be in policy affairs. I wanted to do policy analysis and formulation. That's why I ended up in PMS as Undersecretary for Policy Research. And from there, I became the Cabinet Secretary, which truly was the best part of my government career. It was being at the nerve center of government. What was I doing as Cabinet Secretary? I would watch the news. The same thing I was doing at Asia Week magazine. I'd watch the news, and I would pick the most strategically important news developments and issues. Same thing as I was doing in Asia Week magazine. The difference is that in Asia Week, I would pick stories to write in order to write stories in Asia Week. At the cabinet, I would pick the news and developments, and then I'd discuss with President Arroyo how the government and the cabinet should respond and what we should discuss in cabinet meetings. So it's the same skill as journalism. The difference is I would then formulate, or with the president, the courses of action that the government should take. Eventually, I was doing advisories for her that included 2 things: the governance advisory, what the government should do, and the media advisory, what the government should say about these developments that I was monitoring day in, day out. Of course, as Cabinet Secretary, we also documented the cabinet meetings. I issued the directives to the cabinet. And the other nice part about the job, I monitored the implementation of these directives. There were about more than 700 directives at one point that I was monitoring. And so every week I would meet with officials from various agencies to follow up and give them advice on how to execute these directives. And sometimes they'd run into problems, or many times they'd run into problems, which would necessitate getting back to the president and asking her or suggesting to her to modify the directives so that they could be actually implemented. And it also, was a time when I was also suggesting initiatives to the president after studying these developments. One of the things that I take some fulfillment from is what the National Competitiveness Council. This was one of the things I suggested that she put in her State of the Nation address, and she took it up. She actually created the body, and we have an NCC, the National Competitiveness Council, which helped to bring our competitiveness rating, global competitiveness rating, up by something like 20 places in the world. So after the Roy administration, I did consulting work, doing pretty much the same strategic monitoring and advisory that I was doing for the president. And of course, I then also joined the Manila Times as columnist. I did not want to be a columnist while I was in government, because that's one of those things that I was taught at Asia Week: don't have a conflict of interest. So I have no issue with other people who do that, but in my case, I did not care to do that while I was in government. I did, however, have a weekly television show on PTV4 that at one point I co-hosted with Dinky Suliman, and then when she left the cabinet, I was working with other co-hosts, including Secretary Len Bautista and Congresswoman, what's her name? The congresswoman from Quezon City, which name escapes me now. But we had a good run. So the TV medium was also fine. One final thing about the Roy administration, it is little known, but those who read my columns would have picked it up. I put together data on the Philippine elections, very intense, very intricate data about the 2004 elections. And this was data that would show very clearly that President Arroyo won. One of the data that it showed is that when you look at all the surveys done, and you look at the NAMFREL count and the congressional canvas, in all of them, exit polls, media polls, SWS, and Pulse Asia, the last surveys before the election, she won all of them. Now, if you say that that was fraud, then all of them were involved in fraud. The surveys, the exit polls, the NAMFREL, and Congress. Of course, that's impossible. So to me, what it dramatizes is the power of facts. When you get the facts together, then you can persuade people. It can resolve controversies, as long as, very important, as long as the media gives it attention. Now, what happened to that material that I put together? I was presenting it in PowerPoint presentation, but I also sent an article recounting the whole thing to a business paper. The business paper received it and told me it was too long. That was their excuse for not running it. That's a lie, because they run stories that are even longer. They just break it up into two parts, the way I do sometimes with my columns. They simply refuse to run it. That is because it would go against the prevailing narrative in the media then that President Arroyo cheated. This is the thing about media that you will find. Media tends to get swept into narratives, and if they come across, I'm not talking about every media, I don't think that Manila Times is like that, but when they come across even facts that go against the narrative, they may suppress it. And later you will see what I mean when the second part of my presentation, my talk. So I published since then these articles recounting the data, and I knew the data was true because of the reactions of two entities. One was the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines. In January 2006, the Association of Major Religious Superiors, who had called on President Arroyo to resign, was trying to get the CBCP to call for a recount of the elections, of the votes. That's unconstitutional, and it would have been hugely destabilizing. But the CBC was discussing it. After my presentation of the data of the elections, they forgot about that idea and just called for electoral reforms. The other entity, the other person that it persuaded was Winnie Monsod. Winnie Monsod, you cannot persuade her about elections if you have wrong data, because she is married to a former COMELEC chairman, Chairman Monsod. No? But she found the data solid, and she herself came out with a column saying, whether you like it or not, President Arroyo won. This is I think this is what you can do if you get the facts together with the highest standards of journalism. One last anecdote about those presentations of mine. I presented to Filipino communities abroad, in Japan, in the United States, even in Toronto, Canada. The New York presentation was memorable. After a 45-minute presentation, somebody in the audience stood up and said, "Mr. Secretary, that was a long, long presentation full of lies, lies, lies." By the way, you'll see in my video later another person claiming lies. We'll go through the slideshow slide by slide, and you tell me which information is wrong and what the correct information is. Because if you say that it's a lie, then presumably you know the right information and you can point out which is wrong. So we'll go through it slide by slide, and you tell me which is wrong and what the right data is. He could not. So I had to sit. And of course, that was it. The audience was convinced, persuaded by the facts. And I have to underline, get the facts. That's what journalism is all about. I'll stop now. If you want to see more of my journalism, just read the Manila Times and my column. I'm going to talk about what my column was yesterday and why, from these disturbing developments in our global media space, we need more than ever the factual, impartial, and objective journalists that I hope all these aspiring journalists will become. My column yesterday had the headline, "The Disturbing Power of Big Tech and Big Media." We have giant media organizations in the world, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the major American networks, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS. You also have the major newswire services, the Associated Press. There's also Reuters, the BBC in the United Kingdom. These are the powers of global media, and so long they pretty much determined the dominant coverage. They not only would shape the coverage, but they also dictated what would be covered. That's the gatekeeping function of media. Media not only determines how a story is written, it will decide what story will be written, and that can exclude important things that should be covered but are never covered. Well, that power has now gone to social media. Social media has implementing policies for what they call community standards, and they will restrict access to Facebook posts or Twitter feeds or YouTube videos that, in their view, and solely their view, okay? Nobody, entirely on the view of Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, nobody else, that those things go against their standards. What are those standards? Well, they publish something, but ultimately it's in their heads. They decide what goes on and what does not. So the gatekeeping function of media has now gone to social media, and the social media are far, far bigger and far, far wealthier than anything in the traditional media. Facebook and Twitter have more people looking at them or reading them than any publication in the world. More people watch videos on YouTube than any network. Most networks are only national. CNN is global, but even CNN cannot match YouTube. What YouTube puts in, far more people will see than what CNN will show. So the gatekeeping function is now in the hands largely by social media. And social media, well, I'd have to say, they don't necessarily follow the professional standards of journalism. They do consult journalistic entities to help them critique posts on Facebook or Twitter, or, for instance, Facebook has a partnership with a Philippine news entity to determine what is acceptable and what is not, and what is factual and what is not. That entity is Rappler. Now, Rappler, I'm sure, has its professional standards, but it's very clearly an entity that is not on good terms with the government. And so you have a situation that I cited in my column where Facebook shut down several accounts that were linked to the armed forces of the Philippines, presumably because they were, doing things that were not according to the standards of Facebook. But this same Facebook does nothing against leftist accounts that are linked to the Communist Party of the Philippines and the New People's Army, which is openly calling for the violent overthrow of the Philippine government. So, is that fair? Well, I want to get into that, but very clearly, you do not like AFP for whatever reason, but at the same time, you allow entities that are supportive of the CPP-NPA, which wants to bring down the government violently. I find there's a double standard there. Now, this double standard is not exclusive to the Philippines, Philippine news. It's also happening in the United States. And I cite in particular what's the recent coverage of the riots, both on the Capitol Hill as well as in the across the U.S. in reaction to the killing of American George Floyd, as well as the coverage of the claims of election fraud in the recent U.S. elections. And here, let me see, I don't know if I better get on to the bit I want to show. So very briefly, on the coverage of the rioting, the mainstream media, which is very liberal and tends to be pro-Democrat, they've really come down hard on the assault in Capitol Hill, which is terrible and really should be condemned. But those who compare that coverage with the coverage of the rioting and demonstrations in reaction to the George Floyd killing, they note that those Antifa-driven riots and demonstrations were almost lightly commented on and even justified by certain segments of media. So they saw a double standard there. Now, moving to the elections, I'd like to play a video which I've asked your technical people to cue. This is an interview, and I won't comment on it yet. This is an interview on CBS or ABC by George Stephanopoulos. He's the former press secretary of Bill Clinton and a stalwart in the Democratic Party, speaking with Republican Senator Rand Paul, who has been calling for investigations of the elections. So if it's ready, could you show it, please? Can we show the video now? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
The role.
Senator
It does
Paul, I
make
have
a
to,
difference, and those things.
I
do
have to stop
occur.
you there. No election is perfect, but there were 86 challenges filed by President Trump and his allies in court. All were dismissed. Every state certified the results.
Can you play it from the beginning? Sorry. Can you play it from the beginning? From the beginning, please.
And recounts. The Department of Justice.
Could you play it from the beginning?
No widespread.
Play it from the beginning, because it's very important to hear it from the beginning.
This election was not stolen. Do you accept that fact?
Well, what I would say is that the debate over whether or not there was fraud should occur. We never had any presentation in court where we actually looked at the evidence. Most of the cases were thrown out for lack of standing, which is a procedural way of not actually hearing the question. There were several states in which the law was changed by the Secretary of State and not the state legislature. To me, those are clearly unconstitutional, and I think there's still a chance that those actually do finally work their way up to the Supreme Court. Courts traditionally and historically don't like to hear election questions. But yes, were there people who voted twice? Were there dead people who voted? Were there illegal aliens who voted? Yes, and we should get to the bottom of it. I'll give you an example. In my state, when we had a Democrat Secretary of State, she refused, even under federal order, to purge the rolls of illegal voters. We got a Republican Secretary of State, and he purged the rolls.
Senator Paul, I have
make a difference, and those things
I have to stop
occur.
you there. No election is perfect, but there were 86 challenges filed by President Trump and his allies in court. All were dismissed. Every state certified the results after investigations, after investigations, counts, and recounts. The Department of Justice, led by William Barr, said there's no widespread evidence of fraud. Can't you just say the words, this election was not stolen?
What I would suggest is that if we want greater confidence in our elections, and 75% of Republicans agree with me, is that we do need to look at election integrity, and we do need to see if we can restore confidence in the elections.
Well, 75% of Republicans agree with you because they were fed a big lie by President Trump and his supporters who say the election was stolen. Why can't you say?
Well, I think where you make, I think where you make a mistake. Hey, George, where you make a mistake is that people coming from the liberal side like you immediately say everything's a lie instead of saying there are two sides to everything. Historically, what would happen is if I said that I thought there was fraud, you would interview someone else who said there wasn't. But now you insert yourself in the middle and say the absolute fact is that everything I'm saying is a lie.
Well, because, Senator, I said what the president said was a lie because he said, hold on a second. He said the election was stolen. This election was not stolen. The results were certified in every single state after counts and recounts.
You're saying that absolutely.
Okay, can you stop now? And I think you fast forward to the next.
I said the Department of Justice found no evidence. Let me finish my point. You said it was not true.
You said all liars.
Okay.
Simply said we're all liars. And
I said it was a lie that the election was stolen.
Can you stop the video and move it to the next cue point? I think the next cue point is further down. I gave the actual minute, but as you can see there, the very first question of this interviewer, and he's supposed to be, interviewing objectively, and his first question was, do you accept that the elections were not stolen? Do you accept that fact? This is a matter of debate, and he says, do you accept that fact? He is saying that the elections being valid is a fact, when in fact it's a matter of debate. And this is ABC News, So that's kind of happening now, even in the leading networks in the United States. Now, this thing continues, and I hope they can cue in, and I don't need to really show the other videos, but if they can show the second part that I asked for, where Rand Paul actually spells out very clearly that the job of a journalist.
Democrat.
I think it's, let me just, I think it's from, 4 minutes 20, 4:20 into the video, 4 minutes 20 seconds into the video. And I think it's again a very good lesson for our young
First time we
journalists.
ever did it en masse.
For just look at the 4.20 timing or thereabouts. Yeah.
Diabetes. Dati kung ano nung supplements ang iniinom ko. Pero ang bilis ko pa rin mapagod.
Told us it.
Okay, so 4.20, just 1 minute, and that will wind up that video. So this is mainstream media, and on the coverage of the election, which very clearly is controversial, and you have what is it really trying to? Oh, okay, I think we're. Oops, no, okay, well, that's the other. Well, never mind. Let me. So we don't have to show the other one. Basically, Rand Paul was reiterating his point that George Stephanopoulos was violating one of the cardinal rules of journalism, which is to be impartial and be able to look at both sides. And George Stephanopoulos was saying there are no two sides to the facts, but the facts are in debate. No? Now, further on, let me just note that one of the things that has come out in media, and you see it in the New York Times, Washington Post, you see it in said by anchors at CNN, is that the Trump camp was making claims of fraud without evidence or with no evidence. That's a standard line that they use, with no evidence. Well, I'm going to show you here the Trump legal team actually explaining where the evidence is, is presenting evidence. I mean, it's one thing to say there is inadequate evidence, but throughout the coverage, they were saying that there's no evidence. Can you play the video, please?
Advantage of. Justice Souter warned us of the same thing in a comment in an election law case. And even the New York Times wrote articles about how dangerous mail-in voting was. And this is the first time we ever did it en masse. And I think we proved that all three are prophets. It's not only susceptible to fraud, it is easily susceptible to fraud, particularly if you have a plan or scheme which sounds eerily similar to what Joe Biden told us a few days before the election, that he had the best voter fraud team in the world. Well, they were good. I don't know that they were that good because they made significant mistakes, like all crooks do, and we caught them. One of them was pushing out Republican inspectors. Every state, almost every civilized country, even Tanzania and places you wouldn't think of, have rules about inspectors, particularly for mail-in ballots. And why particularly for mail-in ballots? Because they can more easily be defrauded and you can't check on it. People who have never done a mail-in ballot, I'm going to show you why it's so easy. Well, you fill out an envelope like this. You put usually in New York it would be your assembly district and the precinct in which you're voting. You fill out your name and your address and you sign it. You then use an inner envelope and you put the ballot inside the inner envelope. You seal it all and you send it in. When it's being counted, almost invariably in the United States, up until the mass cheating that went on in this election, a Republican and a Democrat inspector, as well as others, if there are other parties, is allowed to watch the unsealing of this ballot. It used to go on all over America when we conducted honest elections. Because the only time you can ever find out if it's a fraudulent ballot is when it is looked at. The minute you approve this, it's thrown away, gone for eternity. The only thing left is the vote. That could have been Mickey Mouse. That could have been a dead person. That could have been not filled out properly. That could have been the same person 30 times. that could have been, and all these things have happened, by the way, that could have been nothing filled out. We never know. So, for example, the recount being done in Georgia will tell us nothing, because these fraudulent ballots will just be counted again because they wouldn't supply the signatures to match the ballots. So it means nothing to have counted these ballots because, for example, in Pennsylvania, where we have probably our most precise evidence, 682,770 of these ballots were cast, put in, and they weren't inspected, which renders them ballots that are null and void, cannot be counted, have to be removed from the vote. Why?
Thank you.
For several reasons, not the least of which is.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, I hope my point simply is that, again, to say that there was zero evidence, which is what a lot of mainstream media in America is saying, is not true. You can say there was inadequate evidence, but to say zero evidence, is false. This is now the emerging global climate in a lot of media, and I say a lot of media because what we're seeing in the United States is that the mainstream media are the ones doing this. You saw that ABC News interview by George Stephanopoulos. The coverage that keeps using this line, no evidence, are the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, all the major media. Now, the more disturbing thing is that the social media, which has a far greater reach, they actually go to the point of actually shutting down accounts that they feel, in their view, violate their standards. And we saw that most graphically in the response, in the aftermath of the riots on Capitol Hill. Twitter completely banned President Donald Trump. I would not myself, I would say that perhaps he may have been responsible for getting people all riled up to some extent, but banning him completely seems to really be beyond what necessarily one might do when all you want is to prevent violence, because most of the time there is no violence. Only when you have protests do you have the potential for violence. Now, if you wish, you can ban him when there are demonstrations that may become violent. But most of his tweets, while you can contest them or say that they're controversial, which is what Facebook and Twitter have been saying about President Trump's tweet, you can say that and then still allow them. The long and short of it is, we now have social media willing to ban and post messages or restrict access to them, restrict access to those who are posting that do go against their views. And the one point I made in the column yesterday is that if they can do that to the President of the United States, they can do that to anyone. And if they can do that to Americans, then they could just as well do that to foreigners. And it may happen, I'm not saying it has happened, but it may happen that for instance, in the escalating rivalry between China and the United States, which may flare up into hostilities, then social media may just ban accounts that are identified with the Chinese state or the Chinese military. That kind of situation may now be upon us. And it is incumbent on journalists that are impartial and driven by the facts to really pursue our craft, to pursue our mission, so that at the very least, we can be a voice for the truth, the impartial truth, in a world that is increasingly being driven by agenda of powerful interests, as may have happened in the coverage of the U.S. elections and the actions of certain social media against what they feel are accounts that violate their standards, including, as I mentioned, the accounts linked to the armed forces of the Philippines. So I'll stop there. I think I have about 10 minutes for any questions that may arise. And again, I enjoin our budding journalists from the campus press to seriously think about pursuing the craft of truth-telling, impartial truth-telling, because we are now in a world where increasingly the truth is being set aside or distorted by powerful entities that may be pursuing interests and agenda that do not necessarily serve the greater good or the full and unbiased truth. Thank you very much for listening to this long talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Secretary Saludo. It's very ironic that for me, personally, when I hear and see people advocate for freedom of expression, they themselves suppress the expression of others. So we are open for questions, right?
Yes, sure. I think I have until about 4:15, so about 10 minutes.
Okay, so let's welcome questions for our campus journalists. Anyone out there? Any questions via Facebook?
Well, maybe while they're looking at those chat boxes, maybe I can post one while others are crafting their question. Secretary, thank you for your presentation today. I'm not sure if you saw an article by Ben Smith sometime last year that was published in the New York Times. Ben Smith, I believe, was the former president or head of BuzzFeed. And he, in his initial column in the New York Times, he was recounting the time when he was in fact recruiting the president of the New York Times to join BuzzFeed. But his point was that, eventually traditional media became a major player in social media. And in fact, his gripe was that traditional media was crowding out other voices in the social media sphere. So his story ended when he ended up working for the New York Times, the company which is headed by the person whom he wanted to recruit in BuzzFeed. I wonder if you'd comment on that. And the second question is, you talk about reading good journalists. Of course, I think we have to follow. Our student journalists have to follow you now. But whom would you recommend to the younger journalists? Whom should they read in the Philippines? Those are the questions. Yeah.
I always read when he comes out, Bobby Tiglao. Even when he was in the Inquirer, I was reading him, and he's really top notch in getting the facts and putting it out there in a very hard hitting way. And I look up to his writings. No, I would just say, read the a wide range of material, and by wide range I mean not necessarily those that you would agree with. I mean, if you can read, for instance, Randy David, I mean the man is a social thinker. So whether or not you agree with him, read his stuff. The Mahar Mangahas, to read the writings of a top-notch social scientist would be great. Here in our publication, our top columnists and journalists, Jomar Canlas, his coverage of the Supreme Court, always, a scoop a day. Of course, it's always interesting to read truthful because he never runs out of controversy. So read the full range, and it just will help you get, on the one hand, see different perspectives and see excellence in different kinds of journalism. I would just have to say that, uh, different kinds. And I would even say, look at the stuff that you see on online media. Those are, they every now and then you'll see some good stuff. And the good thing now is, of course, you can read more than your own paper and country. You can read from all over the world. One thing I recently discovered is I use Pocket to save articles. The app Pocket, and if you click the discover button in Pocket, God, they have good stuff. About topics that they monitor your reading, and they will give you articles along what you are interested in, but very well written articles. How do you know they're well written? Because those are the ones that others, most of their users would save. Of course, Google search tends to bring up also a good range of quality articles. So these are, the good thing now is you've got algorithms in these apps that help bring you good material. Yeah. Now regarding BuzzFeed and the New York Times, just to quickly address that. I mean, pretty much. Let me say one thing that I read in the Wall Street Journal while I was still in Hong Kong. So that would be over 20 years ago. It said, and I quote, "The most precious commodity today is attention. The most precious commodity today is attention. If you have eyeballs, that translates into cash. It also translates into power. It translates into influence. Just watching you, which is why how do you get rich on YouTube? By having millions of subscribers. Attention is the key now that is driving media and social media. So somebody, I don't know why the BuzzFeed didn't take over the Times, but I can only imagine the Times has more eyeballs than BuzzFeed. But there are far more eyeballs on Facebook and Twitter, and there are Twitter accounts that have more people looking at them than the New York Times and the Washington Post put together. And so, the key thing now is that the people think of watching is who's watching, who has the biggest people, a number of people watching them, and it's turned to that. Now the problem with that for serious journalists is that it's people who are either radical or entertaining that get the eyeballs. They may not be telling the truth, but they get the eyeballs. A lot of things that politicians may say are untrue or unproven, and yet they get the eyeballs. And so our craft is, on the one hand, more important in that we should really strive to deliver the truth, but also, unfortunately, harder because the eyeballs are going to the personalities and the messages and the articles and the material that may not necessarily be true, but happen to be controversial or exciting or sensational, you name it. Thank you for those questions, Klink.
Thank you, Secretary.
I think I've run out of time, but
yes, sir. We have two questions so far.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, from Dan Navarro, one of our winners. How can the concept of truth be impartial?
First, impartial means you look at different perspectives on the truth. How can you're familiar with the elephant with six blind men, that fable of six blind men feeling the elephant and then saying, oh, the elephant is like a snake when they touch the trunk. The elephant is like a fan touching the ear. The elephant is like a wall touching the side. The elephant is like a pillar or a tree touching the leg. And the elephant is like a rope touching the tail. The journalist will listen to all six and kind of say, okay, what's happening here? Okay. The problem with, what we saw in that ABC interview, he started off saying, will you accept this fact? But the fact itself, whether the elections were stolen, by stolen meaning the results were distorted to the point that it did not reflect the rightful winner. That is controversial. It's not decided. Why not decided? Because there was no examination of the evidence. Most of the cases were ruled out on procedural grounds, and so there was never really an assessment. And at the same time, if you see one of the videos I had to show was this video talking with a Stanford PhD in computers who actually spelled out how the fraud was done. And he had no interest to make those statements for his own, for his own interest. He just said it because that was what his version of the truth. I'm not saying he's telling the truth, but he deserves to be listened to for someone who's serious about assessing the validity of the American elections. So I take the side of Rand Paul when he was talking about journalism. You look at two sides. Eventually, you might take one side after looking at both sides, but you have to look at both sides. Thank you.
Okay, another one from FB Live from Female Prado. What precautions should we take to ensure the accuracy of our collected information?
Well, I always say, look at both sides. Both sides means make sure you read, material that disagree with each other. So I'm not saying, you will. It just helps. I remember writing a column about this. That one of the rules, one of the ways in which you can prevent yourself from being skewed by a particular publication, you read other publications that disagree with it, and it then helps, make your perspective at least less subjective or less skewed. If you only read, like if you're in the States and you only read Republican conservative material, then you're missing part of the truth. If you read the whole range of perspectives, then you're like the one who's looking at the elephant and listening to all the blind men talking about their experience of the elephant, and in that way getting a better idea of what the real situation is. So look at 2 or 3 or 4 sides of a story that you're interested in.
Okay, we have our last question, sir. Okay, from Mays Estrada of PUP.
Sure, yeah.
How could we challenge the facts presented by the media using the facts given by people with political bias? Are facts themselves purely objective in the context of politics?
I think here the facts would be borne out by documentary evidence, or in the Rudy Giuliani was talking about affidavits executed by people with their names, sworn, alleging irregularities. Those are facts. Those are people actually putting themselves on the line to testify to affirm certain events. Now, at the same time, you look at the other side who says, that there's not enough fraud to invalidate the election. Okay, look at that too. Both are important in assessing something as complex and controversial as the elections. And eventually, that sort of thing is really best ultimately done by an adjudicating body. So you create, there are entities like the courts or the election commissions in the United States. Same here in the Philippines. We've got a vice presidential election protest still going on for many years. They're the ones who really are constituted to look at these things impartially or with great expertise. Eventually, they will, their views are important, no? And it's important then for media to cover those investigations. Now, what happened in the United States is that there was never any investigation by an impartial body, and as I understand it, there will continue to be cases filed in the Supreme Court to address on the elections, and hopefully that process will eventually come to an assessment of what really happened. It was never realistic to expect that everything would be sorted out, in the time between the elections and January 20, when a president had to be sworn in. So, so this would really take much longer, and hopefully the United States will go through the full investigation of these allegations, because that's important in their electoral system, in the same way that it is important for us to hear and adjudicate the protest, the vice presidential election protest. Because even after many years, and even if there's only like a several months or just a year left in the term that is being contested. So we just have to, get into presenting the material we have. And the good thing about social media now is that it is possible to actually reach even a global audience without having to actually print your own newspaper or broadcast have your own radio network. And what's really most important is that you get the facts straight and put it out there. And that hopefully will be what we would all do, including our young campus journalists, what we would all do in this mission of ours, to unearth and tell the truth. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that very inspirational, insightful talk that our campus journalists may learn and make this as their guide. By the way, sir, what days our viewers would watch your column in the Manila Times?
Yes, it's every Thursday and Sunday. The Thursday column is on public affairs, and Sunday is religion. And I'm glad the Times publishes my religion column. I got a letter at one time from an American saying that he found it so refreshing that that religion would end up on the in a major daily being written up every Sunday, because apparently that sort of thing is not as common anymore in the United States.
Okay, again, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on. The Manila Times College has honed its students to become excellent journalists who have become media personalities in their own right. Such is our next speaker, who earned her AB journalism degree with academic distinction in 2007. She pursued higher education by completing her Masters of Development Communication from the University of the Philippines, Diliman in 2011, then earning diploma course in professional teaching in 2013. She ventured into television as researcher, writer, segment producer, news reporter, correspondent, field producer, and host of TV5, One News, and Radio 5. She has also authored the book Dream Birth in Your Hands and Mother Knows Gentle Birth. She is a certified life coach of Global Life Coach Training Institute based in Dallas, Texas, USA. Friends, fellow journalists, Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Faith Del Mundo.
Yes, hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the kind introduction, Sir Arlo. I congratulate all the winners and hi to Sir Rick. Marami po akong saludo, sir, kasi marami talaga akong natutunan po sa inyo. Talagang bagay na bagay yung apelyido niyo, sir. Okay, but anyway, I congratulate all the winners for doing a great job and to all the participants who joined. Congratulations as well because, of course, you gained a very wonderful experience. I am very thankful for this opportunity. Thank you for inviting me to be one of the speakers. And when I was invited, I actually asked, what is the topic? And Miss Shane just told me that it is about what would it take to be a good media practitioner or to be a media professional based on your experience. So I think, that sounds easy. So I can talk all day about my life, but it may bore you all. So don't worry, hindi ko gagawin yan. And today is a special day, not just for Campus 2020 awarding, but it's actually my birthday. Okay.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. Okay. So thank you. And actually, special day nga, 20 plus years ago. So I actually lost count. So wag na nating medyo mahina yata ako sa math. So I actually lost count na yon. So don't ask me. Okay. Okay, anyway. So I said yes because I really love the Manila Times College. And it's actually one of the reasons why I am where I am right now. So how can I really say no to Sir Klink? Hi, Sir Klink. Yeah, he's my former professor and of thesis advisor. So, and of course, when they told me it will be for the students, the campus, the next generation, so how can I say no? Maybe actually, excuse me, that is one of the reasons why I also pursue a career in teaching. But don't worry, I will not lecture, okay? So hello to all the students. I hope I cannot see everyone, so this is actually a different setup. So maybe you can type in the comment box and tell me where you are right now or your name, or just say hi so I can know that, there are some students and some teachers who are with us today. So as a birthday gift, can you just lend me your ears for a couple of minutes? Okay, so wait for a moment. I'll just share my screen. Okay, so can you see? Okay, so while still waiting, wait for a moment. So can you see my screen right now? Okay, while still waiting. Okay, my screen. Okay, medyo my presentation. Let me know if you can see my screen right now.
We can see it.
You can see it. Oh, but I think that's one. Okay, wait for a moment. All right. Okay, so I'll just screen share. Okay, so. Okay. So yan, birthday gift niyo na sa akin na makinig kayo. Very quick lang, very few minutes. Sabi nga ni Sir Rick, yung attention, di ba? Medyo, lalo na ngayon, medyo marami na tayong katalo sa attention eh. Attention span natin eh. So yan, so good enough. So, well, let me just first tell you about myself. So very quickly lang. How I become a journalist. It is actually a dream come true that I realized when I pursue journalism in college. Looking back in my high school days, we have a broadcasting contest, and I always portrayed the role of being a field reporter. Pero back then, parang hindi ko pa gusto, hindi ko pa naman talaga pinupush yun. So, I wanted to be a journalist during my college years. And when I enrolled to the Manila Times School of Journalism pa yun before, and now it's the Manila Times College. Before, I was undecided with what course. Ang dami ko kasing gusto. Parang I am interested sa lahat-lahat. So, ayun na nga, parang feeling ko, perfect sa akin yung journalism. Kasi nga, iba-ibang coverage. So, I'm on general assignment beat. So, totoo naman na nag-apply yun from politics, sports, crime, business, agri, special features, disasters, minsan nga pati showbiz na cover ko na rin. So, talagang all around. So, it also instilled with me the journalism code of ethics, so being morally upright. So the school became our training ground and it prepared me in the work in media. So I'm very thankful for the school that taught us not just the writing, the 4 Ws and 1 H, but also for making it accurate and fair and not the fake news or the so-called alternative news. So yan, right after I graduated, good thing, I have 3 job offerings. The first is a job in media with not a bigger pay compared to the other jobs offered. The second is a PR job, which of course has a higher compensation. And the third is a teaching job. And of course, I chose to work in media and I did not regret it. So this is just some of the pictures. Sobrang dami yung pictures ko. So my first job is an associate producer in Asenso Pinoy TV and radio. So even I do on-cam hosting, I am in charge of the scripts, editing, shoots. So I learned a lot and enjoyed my first job. And then I transferred to GMA 7, started as a researcher, and I was actually burned out because of the demand of my work. And back then, I was actually completing my requirements for my master's degree. So I worked in Kapuso Mo Jessica Soho, and of course, I also learned a lot. And then I try ko naman outside media. So I taught in English for a few months, and then I got bored. Back then, I think it was not for me to have a really routine job, or talagang na-miss ko lang siguro yung media. And then TV5 opened its door. And I applied as a field producer last 2020, so just last year. It was my 10th year in TV5. So wag niyo na hulaan yung age ko. So very thankful for the opportunity. And last year, I also launched my 2 books, Dream Birth in Your Hands and Mother Knows Gentle Birth. So as you see, I started behind the scenes, not knowing that a field producer was in charge of live points, more on the technical stuffs, and edits videos and report. Then I learned the technical stuffs, almost all the things I need to prepare myself before going on cam. So hindi agad-agad ako nag-reporter. So behind the cam muna. So after several years, I applied as a reporter and news correspondent, and until up to now. So aside from the learnings, developing skills in media, you'll meet different people from all walks of life. Actually, from the politicians, celebrities, and to those who are people in the marginalized group. So you can interview them, talk to them, and you will learn from them. So who knows, if you are lucky, you might also find the love of your life. Well, it is also where I met my ex-boyfriend, my first and last, and now my husband. Of course, that is another story, okay? So it is not a routine job, especially kapag nasa iba-iba kang beat, and your office is the whole outside world. And so as a bonus, you will witness breaking stories and see history unfolding before your very eyes. So enough about me, okay? So parang masyado na yatang mahaba yon. So the question is, are you good enough? Or being good is enough? So what would it take to be a good media practitioner? So pagka journalist ka or pag media practitioner ka, kailangan daw maparaan ka. So this is an example. In a train station accident, there is a large crowd gathered. So hindi maka-squeeze in yung newspaper reporter. So he's anxious to get the story but could not get in the site. So he think of a way. He shouted, "Let me through! Padaan niya, padaan! I'm the son of the victim." Sabi niya gano'n. Ako yung anak. So the crowd made a way from him. Talagang pinadaan siya. Siyempre, sabi niya, siya yung anak eh. And then, pagkakita niya, lying in front was a monkey. Okay? So, huwag niyong gagawin yon, okay? At hindi ko ginawa yon. Disclaimer lang, huwag niyong gagawin yon. So, looking back, whenever I face situation wherein my character is tested, I will always look back and will be reminded of what a good journalist must be. So, you must have faith. Okay? So, kalimutan nyo na lahat ng sasabihin ko. You can forget everything, but you must remember, you must have faith. Okay? That's an acronym, by the way. So, what is faith? Okay, F starts with being fearless and flexible. So, of course, no story is worth dying for. Okay? Not on a way na sugod ng sugod. You can be fearless if you are knowledgeable and confident. And how do you do it? Na-mention na yun kanina. By researching, by reading. Okay? So, dun sa mga students natin dyan, type nyo nga sa comment box para hindi nyo makalimutan, researching and reading. Okay? So, type nyo yun para at least hindi nyo makalimutan. Yun ang pinakabala mo. Pag marami kang alam, you will be knowledgeable in what you are covering. Therefore, more confident ka, so meaning, mas matapang ka. Example, pag Taal eruption, when covering, there is only a safe zone. So you know na dun ka lang sa area na safe ka. Or covering bypass operations, kung paano gagawin yun. So alam mo kung saan ka lulugar. Or simplehan na lang natin ngayong pandemic, COVID-19. So how can you protect yourself from the virus? So dahil alam mo yung gagawin mo, so you're more confident or you're more brave, di ba? So at para F na F mo, fearless ka at may kasunod yan yung flexibility or being flexible. So, ready and able to change, to adapt to different circumstances. Yan yung talagang dapat na ini-flex mo eh. Hindi yung kung ano yun. Flex mo yung pagiging flexible mo depending on your resources or your sources, lalo na pag may deadline ka at dapat ilangan umabot ka, okay? So, next. A is for analytical mind. Okay, let me tell another story. There is a little boy who had to write a report for school. So he went to his mom and asked, "Mom, where did I come from?" So nagtataka siya, "Saan ba ako galing?" So surprised from hearing such a question from her child, the mother discreetly answered, "A stork brought you." Nagulat siya, "And where did you come from?" So the boy continued, "Well, the stork brought me, just like you. Now go to your room," the mother said. "No more questions, please." But the boy persisted. "What about Grandma? Where did Grandma come from?" "Look, the stork brought Grandma. The stork brought me. The stork brought you. I do not want to talk about this anymore." So the little boy went to his room and began writing his report. He wrote in this report, "Our family hasn't had a normal birth in 3 generations." Okay? So you see, you must not believe what you just hear. You must validate. Type it again, you must validate. Okay? So you must be observant. Don't just ask. You must scrutinize how things work, know the relevant facts, be investigative, reporting based stories on evidence and facts, not just emotions or hearsay. So dapat critical thinking, you'll have the ability to think in an organized and rational manner so that you will understand connections between informations or ideas. So it helps you decide what to believe in. You'll know, ay, hindi naman pala totoo yan. Or you can identify na, for press release lang yan. Or parang media user lang yan. You know, parang, ay, char lang yan. So you can identify that. So next. So, letter I. Kaya nga siya nandun sa gitna. So I. If you will see, I is in the middle. So, nasa sayo talaga yan. If sa sarili mo, you don't love what you do, you will end up quitting. So, you will not aim to improve. So, hanggang dun ka na lang yan. Okay? So, also in the center of faith is, I is for integrity. Can you type in? Integrity. Okay? Who you are when no one is watching. So, being honest and not taking advantage of others. And another one, I is for incorruptible. Okay, hindi incorrupt yan kasi baka mahirap na, baka ma-misquote ako Incorruptible yan, okay? Not susceptible to corruption or especially by bribery. And don't do anything that demeans or dishonor you. Of course, you must take care of your name and you must be credible. Okay, so letter T, truthful technical skills. Okay, truthful first. A journalist's number one obligation is for the truth, okay? And it's to be honest. Your work must be credible. It can be shown by the clarity, how easily the articles or script or story you can be understood, and accuracy, how well documented the information is. And of course, trustworthiness, how believable the information is. And because syempre, it's 2021 na, so technical skills, kailangan natin yan. Especially medyo nagbago na tayo, may mga Zoom na tayo, so mga Google Meetups or everything ganyan. So it refers to that special knowledge and expertise needed to accomplish. So yung skill is actually learned. Ability that you can acquire and develop through practice and practice. Okay? So kailangan practice and practice. Type nyo again, practice and practice. So skills sa language, media production, communication skills, if photography or video, in shooting angles, and for editing naman. Okay? So next. H is for heart. Okay, yan. Heart ba yan? Okay, heart. Heart is for teachable and kind. So your heart as a journalist, you love your job and you are passionate about what you do. Okay? Kasi if you don't love your job, you will just end up quitting and it will make you unhappy. So teachable, you must be open to learn something new. Everyone, of course, has opinions. Everyone has their side of the story. But your job as a journalist is to illustrate the entire picture. So kind heart, you must have the heart to make this world a better place. So being a good media practitioner, you must have faith, okay? Now, in the word faith, faith meaning faith in God, in yourself, and in the humanity. So to keep you going and not quitting. So I will just share James 1:3-4, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So the key word there is perseverance, meaning persistence in doing something despite the difficulty or delay in achieving success. Just because your dream is delayed, it doesn't mean it is denied. Okay, remember that. Okay, so let me share with you. Medyo marami ba yon? Faith. Very, very quick lang yan. Faith. So let me share with you. Wait. Yan. This is one of my favorite illustration and a story. One of my favorite authors, Paulo Coelho. So it's about the pencil. Okay, I have this pencil. Can you see the pencil? So the pencil maker told the pencil 5 pointers before going into the world. Siyempre, marami tayo mga campus journalist students or aiming for sa college and sa high school, okay? So, mapupulot nyo to or madadala nyo to, okay? So, number 1, you will be able to do many great things, but only if you allow yourself to be held in someone else. So, kung nandiyan ka lang nakahiga lang tong pencil, so wala siyang use. But if someone's holding you, like, for example, if we allow God to hold us or make God the center of your life, He must be in control. So the Bible verse from Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Remember, there is a wonderful plan in your life. It may not happen immediately, but it will happen at the perfect time. Okay, number 2. You will experience a painful sharpening from time to time to become a better pencil. Of course, pagkagamit ng pencil, kailangang tasahan. Okay? So, it's just like struggles in life, problems, and tests that can make you a better person. I would like to share my life verse. It's actually 1 Corinthians 10:13. Every test that you have experienced is the kind that normally comes to people, but God keeps His promise that He will not allow you to be tested beyond your power to remain firm at the time you are put to the test. He will give you the strength to endure it and so to provide you with a way out. So if you have trials, tests along the way, the Lord will give you the strength to surpass it. Number 3. Because a pencil has an eraser, so you will be able to correct any mistakes you might make. So remember, you are a human, okay? So we all commit mistakes. Move on from the wrong decisions. And failures actually make you a stronger and a better person. Number 4. Are you still with me? Mabilis ba? Yung iba sinasabi ang bilisan. Okay, humihinga muna ako. Okay, number 4. The most important is what is inside you. Of course, kasi kung wala yun nandun sa loob na pangsulat mo, you're useless. So what is inside you? Your character. What is in your heart, your attitude, and not only your physical appearance. Okay. So wala na yung days daw na kailangan magandang lalaki ka or magandang babae ka para maging media practitioner ka. Okay? What is important is what is inside of you. Okay, number 5. On every surface you are used on, you must leave a mark. Okay? Do something that is significant or world-changing. You are special and only you can fulfill the purpose for which you were born. So that's the story of the pencil. Okay, so how to evaluate? Because we're talking about how to be a good journalist or good media practitioner. When you are in the industry, it is easy to neglect that you are just working and earning, getting scoops or exclusives. Wow, may scoop ako, may exclusive ako, okay na yun. Or simply getting your job done. Okay na to, pasa ko na lang to, pwede na yan. But before, there is a saying that if you are a journalist or a producer, the measure of success is you are as good as your last story. But I beg to disagree. You can say that you're a good journalist, not just with the story output you produce, or you're more than your name, more than the story output you produce, more than the awards, recognitions, certifications, more than your followers, subscribers, readers, or audience, more than your paycheck, your salary, or your TF, or more than anything else. So what's the real measure if not that? So, but in the end, before you sleep at night, you know that you did your job in all honesty and you don't compromise on your selfish desires. And the real measure is, can you check? I think medyo may konting delay lang pala yung pang FB live natin. But, okay. The real measure is your character and your heart. Okay? When you type in the character and your heart. Okay. So, my challenge to you. The challenge. Check your heart and check your desires. Journalism does not guarantee to make you rich and famous. Oh, so sorry to disappoint you, okay? So it is actually a public service fulfilling a purpose, not just giving what the audience wants, but what they need. So, are you still going to pushing through? Okay. So, my encouragement, if you want or if you have what it takes to be a good journalist, pursue a career in media industry. Okay? Come on. Kung talagang, if you really want, let's go on. Our country needs you. The world needs you. And together, let us help this world to be a better place to live in. Okay? So paano? Okay. So, paano? Change starts with you. So, paano, guys? Guys and girls and mga students, see you in the field. My soon colleagues, and good day. And God bless you all. Yes, Sir Arlo?
Arlo, you're on mute.
Kulang pa ba yung speech ko? So, dagdagan ko muna. Okay, kasi ba?
Thank you so much, Miss Faith. My faith is strengthened with the heart.
Yes. Heart talaga, puso.
Ayun, ganon. Ngayon, ganon din yung uso
Ganun
eh.
pala. Oo
di
nga,
ba?
Korean.
Ganun.
Ganun
Yan
pala
na.
dapat.
Oo.
Okay.
Are we allowed to ask questions from our audience?
Yes, basta hindi math. Baka may joke. Basta yung madali lang Huwag yung mahiya. Joke lang. Minsan kasi sabi nila kaya ka nag-join kasi konti yung math. Pero hindi, may math din yun Oo, meron din. Tsaka naging
Okay.
favorite ko actually yung math. Noong nag-journalism ako nung college. So sabi ko, ay ganun lang pala kadali yun. O, di ba?
So I sing lang yung
Miss
nakita
Jasmine
mo yung
prof ko. Sorry.
I sing yung nakita mo yung love of your life sa industry.
Yeah. Ay, yun ba yung question? Personal naman. Yes, actually, totoo yun. Systems engineer. So, I actually was a field producer back then. So, more on the live point kami. So, dun ko nakita. I'm not expecting it. Actually, sabi ko, okay na ako kahit matandang dalaga. Pero, ang bait ni Lord, sabi ko, Lord, kahit isang boyfriend lang. Tapos yun, first and last, binigay man niya. So, thankful ako.
Congratulations.
Kasi
And
parang
happy birthday.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, we're still waiting for the questions.
So while we're waiting, Faith, first of all, happy birthday, and thank you for doing this. You mentioned character. Maybe can was there ever an instance where your character was tested in the field? As while you were working, and then how did you deal with that? And also maybe your faith in the work. Was there ever a point where you were challenged or maybe tempted even to give up journalism, and how you overcame that?
Yes. Hello? Yes, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for that question, Circling. Yes, it's not really, it's really possible that there are times that you will be tempted, or there are actually not tempted, there are temptations. Like, for example, we have the environmental journalism. So there are others who would really want to give something for you, or like in exchange of something. So I will not mention who was that, or what organization, or what they are asking for me. But they are telling you that, oh, sige na, this is just for fuel or for food and all. But in all honestly talaga, you're not going to accept it, because they might say na there is no exchange, or just for food, or just for a gift. But in return, they might. Okay? So there is a line that they might ask you to do something that you cannot say no. So para safe ka na lang, you must just say no in a polite way, because the others will be very offended with what we're going to do. But minsan that is from your heart, and it's not good. It's not, my conscience is saying me that it's not right. So just to say na, just to be safe, na parang they're not going to ask anything from you, or any other take advantage of that gift. So you must refrain from receiving it. Okay? So hindi po talaga mawawala yan. So kailangan talaga medyo mas matatag ka. Kailangan, kasi yun lang is one time lang. Pero yung mismong credibility mo, your name, nakasalalay doon. And nakasalalay din doon yung work mo. So kung one time accept mo yon, who knows, the other day or the following day, wala ka ng work. So mas importante yon. And the second question is, have I decided to quit? Maybe yes, because syempre pagka, like you've mentioned on your opening speech, na I have actually 2 kids, so medyo mahirap, lalo na the truth kasi, if you're a journalist or you're working from news, you will miss holidays, special events or occasions, kasi kung saan yung may tragedy, saan yung may disaster, kailangan nandun ka eh. So parang medyo meron, yun yung ano lang, yun lang yung medyo isa pang downside. Pero if you're happy with your job, you can continue with it. Pero when you're actually always also seeing a purpose in what you do, not just what you love, that you have the purpose, that's why you do it. So you keep on pushing kasi medyo minsan nakaka-burn out, lagi kang may mga deadlines na hinahabol, or lagi kang nasa labas, and minsan yung safety mo na-compromise din. So there is actually, siguro it's a love-hate relationship eh. Parang ganun pag nasa media ka. So parang nakakagulat na nga rin na parang tumagal ako ng more than 10 years. So this is not my first job. So parang more than 10 years na in the industry. Pero very thankful kasi the experience sa lahat ng ginagawa mo, you learned a lot and you touch other people's lives, and in return, they also touch your life. So sa mga experience na nagagawa mo, so parang it's really worth it. So very encouraging din yung experience and yung sa work. Yun po.
Okay, Miss Faith, we have a question here from Lake Crest. Journalism can be viewed as dangerous since a lot of people might target you for having controversial opinions or for expertise. What have you done to cope with the risks?
Okay. So thank you for the question. Actually, ang pinaka-priority sinasabi natin, no story is worth dying for. Okay? So not just for the exclusive or the scoops, kahit sabihin mo yan, no story is worth dying for. So you must always go on the safe side, okay? So buti sa akin, I actually I remember na meron ako mga ganyan na parang merong threat din. Yung parang marami kasing bashers online yung sinasabi na okay, yan sa ginawa mo or yung sa story mo, pero you must also say that you are the voice eh. If you will also be afraid or fearful dun sa mga stories na iaano mo, it will also go down to you. Pero kung halimbawa, you know that you are going to tell the truth and it's really important to expose it, so it's go for it. Pero of course, you must be on the safe side. Pero iba-iba kasi yan eh. Kung mag-expose ka, so kung talagang you must validate it. Kung talagang totoo, there should be facts, not just for destroying the name of other people, okay? Pero if you have the facts, you have the evidence, you have the video, or you have anything, go for it. Pero syempre, you must, of course, lalo na safe ka rin talaga. Okay? So, you must also discuss it with your editors of how they can also protect you if it's really will be destroying your name, or if you meron kang mga threats na natatanggap, or meron kang marami kasi mga threats na ngayon, pero yung threats naman na iba, it's not really, kumbaga pananakot lang. It will not, hindi naman talaga. Pero syempre, threats pa rin yun sa buhay mo. Pero yun nga, ang sinasabi ko, ang magandang gawin is to be really safe na no story is worth dying for. Like for example, kung mga disaster naman, kung mga pupunta ka sa mga war or anything, you can prepare for it. Okay? Pero kung yung mga ganun for expose and all, although for me kasi parang I will just say what is the facts that's given from the resource person. So if you said that, oh, it's very important, then go for it. Pero if hindi naman talaga parang sure pa, so wag na lang kasi baka hindi ka pa, kumbaga may tawag tayo doon kuryente. Okay, so parang hindi naman totoo. Yun. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Faith. How can we reach you? Kasi there might be some questions that could come later on. So can we just email them to you?
Okay, yes, sure. You can send an email to me, delmundo.faith@gmail.com, or you can sa Twitter din at delmundo.faith, or dun sa Facebook page ko, Faith Del Mundo. So, siguro naalala nyo naman dahil Faith yung acronym natin. Dun lang po. And you can message me. Okay, thank you.
All right. There are other graduates of the Manila Times College like Miss Faith Del Mundo, but she sure is an inspiration to everyone out there, especially our campus journalists who may choose to become journalists or media practitioners as their vocation. Richmond, okay, my coach is there. Choosing the best of the best has not been easy. 11 winners from 404 entries from 43 schools. Wow, that's a lot. And we would like to thank our colleagues at the Manila Times for taking time in reading and going over the entries because despite their busy schedules in meeting the day-to-day deadlines, they were able to judge the works. And our panel of judges, Richmond,
Yes, sir. We have Miss Lina Chua, the news editor, and Miss Lynette Luna, the national editor.
Mr. Ben Pritz, the Manila Times business columnist, and Mr. Alvin Dakanay, business and literary editor.
Miss Leia Beltran, supplements editor, and Mr. Perry Malyari, sports editor.
Mr. Renato Dilan, chief photographer, and Mr. Peter Nathaniel Baga, our layout head.
Mr. Arlo Custodio, yes, hi sir.
Yeah.
Campus Press co-editor, Mr. Steven Pabalinas, the Manila Times editorial cartoonist, and Miss Pina Caponpon, advertising desk head. Your time and dedication made it possible for us to reward students for their creative efforts. Let us give them a round of applause.
Okay, we have now come to the most awaited part of the event today, and that is to announce the winners of our 2020 Campus Press Awards. Are you ready?
Yes, sir, very much ready.
Okay, so we have gathered our campus journalists nationwide, and they are now awaiting if their name will be called. But again, everyone who participated is already a winner. So thank you so much for joining us in this momentous event. Okay. For the first category of the 11 categories, both high school and college, Filipino, and English. Since we have a prepared video, so we just go ahead and announce the categories and let the videos speak for themselves. All right? Are we ready, MIS? Vines? For best news story, high school and college levels, Filipino and English. Here are the winners. Just a few seconds.
Hello everyone, hi, my name is Sean Rosas, and
of course, Richmond, you are also as excited as I am.
Colleges, Edron Inc. So
yes, sir, very much excited. As you all know, proud na proud tayo sa mga students natin, all the more that we are meeting students on the same field.
As a journalist. I'd also like to thank Manila Times for giving me this wonderful achievement. It has certainly motivated me to write better content in the future. For the students, we are now next in line on how the media will be in the near future, so let's keep working hard. And as I'd like saying, I write not only for myself, but for the world as well. Thank you very much.
I'm honored to receive this award from the Manila Times, and I hope that my article on the vaccine distribution by the Lasallian engineers will turn into a reality, especially considering this pandemic. This year has been an unexpected shift to an online platform. Nonetheless, I am proud to represent the LSUIS La Nouvelle and upholding this organization's legacy. Thank you once again.
Taus-puso akong nagpapasalamat sa The Manila Times sa isang napaka-prestigyosong parangal na ito. Isinulat namin ang artikulong ito nang walang ibang hangarin kundi ang bigyan ng boses ang mga frontliners na patuloy ng lumalaban at nanggahanap ng lunas para sa COVID-19. Nilalay ko ang parangal na ito sa mga doktor, researchers at mga manggagawa sa larangan ng agham at medisina. Sa aking pamilya, mga kaibigan at ang publikasyon ng Angbiyato, maraming salamat sa inyong walang sawang pagmamahal at pagsuporta.
Magandang araw po. Ako po si Cassie Licaros at gusto ko po ipasalamat ang The Manila Times
sa kanilang ibinigay na parangal sa amin. At gusto ko din pong ipaabot ang aming pasasalamat sa mga publication advisors, sa mga editors na naghirap, at sa mga pamilya namin na nagsuporta sa amin upang makarating dito. Nais po namin pagpatuloy ang pagsisikap. Salamat.
For the best teacher story, the winners are...
Salamat nga.
Good day everyone, I'm Erich Barnes, feature writer and editor-in-chief of Amis Sterling. I am honored to have been recognized by the Manila Times, and I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Ms. Mela and her story, which will never fail to rekindle the conversation that we hold vital. The community is inevitably fueled by us who write with them. Finally, thank you to Sir Paul, Ms. Cha, and Ms. Maris, our mentors, for being my bridge to the people. Today we won, tomorrow we will write again.
Gusto po namin pasalamatan ang The Manila Times para sa napakalaking karangalang ito at kinilala niyo ang aming gawa bilang Best Feature Story sa Filipino. Nawayang isinulat naming artikulo ay magsilbing paalaala sa pribilehiyong mayroon tayo at sa tungkulin natin lumikha ng ingay upang mapansin tayo ng mga taong nakaupo sa posisyon. Bilang panghuli, gusto ko rin pong pasalamatan ang pamilya namin sa Banyuhay. Para sa inyo to at para sa bayan.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Unang-una po, gusto ko magpasalamat sa Panginoong May Kapal, sa aking pamilya sa bahay man o sa Banyuhay, sa aking mga gurong walang sawang sumuporta, sa mga kaibigan, at lalong-lalo na po sa The Manila Times para sa paggagawad po ng prestiyosong karangalang ito. Nais ko rin pong sabihin na bilang pong mamamahayag, ay mas pagpupursigihin pa po namin ang aming tungkulin na magpakalat pa po ng katotohanan at ng impormasyon at naway maging inspirasyon po to sa iba po namin katulad ng mamamahayag. Yun lang po, maraming salamat.
A good day to everyone. I am Stephanie Aquilino from The Opinion, and first and foremost, I would like to thank all the people who have made this success possible, to the Manila Times, to our publication advisors, and to the UST Junior High School administrators.
I'd like to dedicate this award to our publications advisors, officers, and editors. I would not be here without their efforts, guidance, and support. I would also like to thank my supportive family and friends who have always been there for me. Lastly, I would like to thank God for giving me a chance to win this award and an opportunity to be an inspiring young student journalist.
Okay, for Best Sports Story, the winners are...
I am Patricia Ann Amakampa from the Vanguard, the official English publication of Eugenio Lopez Center for Media Arts Senior High School, and I would like to express my gratitude for being given the honor to be awarded second runner-up in Best Feature. And I would also like to thank Manila Times for giving the opportunity to me and my fellow young journalists to be able to showcase our talents as well as hone our skills in terms of writing, despite how difficult the situation is with the pandemic going on today. That's all. Thank you so much.
I'm so grateful to start my 2021 with this great award, and thank you for acknowledging my hard work and effort. By taking this opportunity, I will work harder to be a better person and writer. Thank you once again for giving me this great experience and letting me step closer to my goals and dreams.
Hello, I am Hart Sosa from The Aquinian, the official student publication of the University of Santo Tomas Junior High School. I, together with my fellow writer, Stephanie, would like to thank the Manila Times and the Manila Times College for this award. Our article is dedicated to all COVID-19 survivors.
I'd also like to thank the people who
you're my inspiration, my family and friends, and to others in the opinion. This is all fair.
Isang mapagpalaya at mapagpalang araw po sa bawat isa. Ako po si Grace Rocha Estuesta, Filipino writer ng FEU Advocate. Kasama ang aking katuwang sa pagsulat ng kwentong itong si Ludi Trixie Salcedo, kami po ay nagpapasalamat unang-una sa Diyos na may dulot ng lahat, sa aming patnugod sa Pilipino si Mary Evangeline Valenton, sa aming editor-in-chief na si Gio Castro, sa aming managing editor na si Rhea Payong-Ayong at sa buong FEU Advocate na nagtiwala sa mailuluwal naming tintang mapagpalaya. Maraming salamat The Manila Times sa pagtanaw sa potensyal ng kwentong ito. Isa mang oportunidad ang mapili ang artikulong ito ay paniguradong hindi lamang ito ang kwento at likhang makapag-aambag sa pagmulat sa lipunan. Kaya naman para sa patuloy na pagsusulat para sa Diyos at para sa bayan, sama-sama po tayong lumikha para sa ating sintang perlas ng silanganan. Maraming salamat po.
Good day, everyone. Hi, Manila Times. Thank you so much for this award, and we're so thankful and so honored.
And we would like to thank the USA Publications and Jubel and her family for letting us write her inspiring story.
Thank you.
When I was in high school, I used to write my own stories for 3 consecutive years in our publication. Now, it's really an honor that my story is written by other people. I feel like my pain is my testimony that nothing is impossible with God. I want to make other people realize that your less is not a definition or not a basis of what you can do in the future, or your disability can't stop you from having a lot of abilities. I really believe that God's plan is far greater than our dreams. That's why this article means a lot to me, because it serves as my purpose, and that purpose keeps me going.
A pleasant day, everyone. Let me just tell you that it is not just my sole effort that has brought me here. So to my university publication advisor, Dr. Natanyo, to my EICs, and to my fellow writers who saw the passion in me that I couldn't see it myself, thank you for staying with me all the way long. And a special thanks to my family and friends who gave me the moral support I needed. Thank you. And to Manila Times, thank you for this recognition. I hope that this recognition for my work serves as an inspiration to other writers in this field. And remember, if my work can make a difference, so can yours. And lastly, to our Almighty God, I bring back all the honor and all the glory to you, Father. And once again, thank you.
As I receive this award in behalf of our student publication, The Communicator, we have colleagues out there covering various issues in our university, and to them, I dedicate this award. Also, to the subjects of our story, the professors who have chosen to continue educating the students amid the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic. I am honored to be receiving this Best Teacher Story Award, and winning this would not have been possible without my co-writer, Mary Grace Paneda, for whom I have the deepest respect. And to anyone who believes in me, I share this with you. Mabuhay ang The Communicator. Mabuhay ang malayang pamamahayag.
All right. Congratulations to the winners so far, and pardon me for that a little mistake a while ago. Now let's go on. for the best sports story, and the winners are.
First and foremost, I would like to thank the Lugas for entrusting my sports story to be an official entry of 2020 Manila Times Campus Press Awards. Despite the struggles I have encountered along the way, I am very grateful for making it through and become one of the winners. It is truly an honor to be the second runner-up in the Best Sports Story. I will take this achievement as the start of a new beginning as I go on my journey as a journalist. To end, thank you, the Manila Times and the Manila Times College, for organizing this kind of competition.
Isang mapagpalang hapon po sa ating lahat. Ako po si Mark Rainier Santos Pador, mag-aaral mula Limay Senior High School, Limay, Bataan. I'd like to take this rare opportunity po to give gratitude on the Manila Times headed by Mr. Dante Ang II at sa lahat po ng mga mamamahayag at miyembro nito. Maraming salamat po dahil patuloy niyo po kaming binibigyang pagkakataon para magpahayag. Maging sa mga guest speakers po, maraming salamat po sa mga payong ipinapahatid niyo po sa amin. Sa aking pong mga magulang na palaging nariyan at sa pagpayag po ninyo sa paglako ko sa larangang ito, thank you so much po, Mama and Papa. Sa aking lolo, nakapiling na ang Diyos na lumikha para po sa ito, Lolo. Mahal na mahal po kita. At higit sa lahat sa Panginoong Diyos na nagbigay ng talentong ito at sa lakas ng loob. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Panginoon.
Ang pagiging sports writer ngayong may pandemya ay hindi madali. Nakakalungkot dahil wala masyadong mga laro at kompetisyon upang aming sulatan, ngunit hindi ito sapat na rason para tumigil ang aming pagsusulat. Gusto kong pasalamatan ang The Manila Times sa paggawad sa amin ng pinakamahusay sa balitang pampalakasan at gusto ko rin pasalamatan ang USCJHS sa pagtuloy na pagsuporta sa aming mamahayag. Salamat.
Nais kong magpasalamat sa The Manila Times sa paggawad sa amin ng pinakamahusay na balitang pampalakasan sa kategoryang Pilipino sa 2020 Campus Press Awards. Nais ko ring magpasalamat sa aking tagapayo na si Ginoong Joram Kim Corcuera sa pagtiwala at paggabay niya sa akin. Gusto ko rin magpasalamat sa aking pamilya sa walang sawang pagsuporta nila sa akin. Huli ay sa Diyos sa pagbibigay sa akin ng lakas upang magampanan ko ang tungkulin ng isang mamamahayag sa gitna ng pandemya.
I'm Luis Jimenez, a student and a member of the Vanguard, the official English publication of Eugenio Lopez Jr. Center for Major Arts Senior High School. I would like to express my gratitude for winning second place for the best sports story at the Manila Times Campus Press Awards 2020. I'm also grateful for Manila Times for giving young journalists like me an opportunity to showcase their skills and talents amidst this pandemic. May you always have the motivation to write your heart's content, and you stance be on the side of the truth.
I used to believe in sports that you can only lose or win. But then, journalism came to me and changed my perspective. I would like to thank the Manila Times for honoring our humble work. The University of Batangas and our whole publications are very happy and proud of this achievement. Going back to sports, journalism has taught me one important thing. That is, in sports, there is no moment of loss. Everyone wins, be it an achievement or an experience. The only time you lose is when you don't play the game. So while the ball is yours, take a aim and shoot the ball. The golden trophy is waiting for those who persevere. Once again, thank you the Manila Times and University of Batangas. Truly, we win as one.
First and foremost, it is an honor to be recognized and given an award
from one of the biggest and trusted publishing corporations here in the Philippines. I can't put into words how much I am grateful to have my work appreciated. I dedicate the Campus Press Award I received to all of my school paper advisors and fellow journalists that carried the pride of our school. A victory of one is a victory for all. Thank you.
Being a student journalist during these trying times is indeed not easy. Our roles became more crucial and significant. The pandemic must not hinder us young student journalists to fulfill our mission to the student body despite the threats of the COVID-19 pandemic. With this, I want to take this opportunity to express my greatest gratitude to the Manila Times for awarding us the Best Sports Story in English category, and to the UST-JHS community for continuously supporting us in our endeavors.
First, I would like to thank the Manila Times for awarding us the Best Sports Story in English. Next, I would like to thank our school publication advisor, Mr. Joram Kim Perquera, who guided us during the process of writing. Shout out to my family. They have been here with me, supporting me since I started joining small competitions. Lastly, I would like to thank God, who gave us the strength to do our role as a young journalist in the pandemic.
And now, for the best
I want to thank the Manila Times for giving us the opportunity at the 2020 Campus Press Awards, and I humbly accept the award of second runner-up in the Best Sports Story. We will continue to fulfill our service as campus journalists. I would also like to thank our publication, FU Advocate, for this amazing opportunity that they've given us. Again, thank you for this recognition.
Thank you so much, Manila Times, for this award. It is really overwhelming to be recognized by one of the leading national broadsheets in the country. Also, I would like to thank all the people who helped me to achieve this. To my family, especially my mother, Lourdes, to my ever-supportive and dedicated advisor, Dr. Norberto M. Natanio, to the Campus Director of University of Rizal System Antipolo Campus, Dr. Danilo M. Pascual, to all the faculty and staff of the College of Education, and to my amazing Tivolo Student Publication family, thank you so much. I can't do this without your help, guidance, and support. As I put it and highlighted in my article, there is no room for racism anywhere, especially in sports. So let us celebrate diversity and inclusion and promote equality across all disciplines of sports. Once again, thank you very much, Manila Times. More power, God bless, and stay safe.
Alright, and now for the best photography. The winners are
Hi, I'm Angela C., a grade 9 student from the University of Santo Tomas Junior High School. I am very thankful for this award for being the second best runner-up of the Manila Times Press Campus for the Best Photography, with my piece called Eye of the Tiger. I dedicate this award to my friends and family, and also to the whole UST Junior High School. How is it to be an aspiring journalist? For me, it only takes hard work and passion.
A picture paints 1,000 words. Like how I am right now, even 1,000 words cannot describe how I truly feel for this award the Manila Times has given us. The University of Batangas has truly helped me capture different moments, from sports-defining moments to life's worth capturing events. My eyes have been the cameras which made me see the reality which I must show as a journalist. Thank you so much the Manila Times and University of Batangas for this award. Indeed, a picture paints thousands of words and could create limitless possibilities.
Hi
Redondo, a campus photojournalist of the St. Edward's School publication, The Estua, and I would like to extend my gratitude to the Manila Times for giving us this opportunity despite the pandemic, to St. Edward's School where I developed my skills, and of course to my school paper advisors who helped me all throughout my journey as a student journalist. I hope this is not the last, rather just the beginning of more opportunities to come along our way. Thank you and congratulations to all.
Thank you, the Manila Times, for the award. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to showcase our talent and recognizing our hard work, especially for us student photojournalists. Thank you also to the communicator, my publication, for giving me the platform to document the story of the people for the people. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Manila Times, for this prestigious award, to the Varsitarium for being a tough and excellent breeding ground for photojournalism, and lastly to my family for their endless support. With every chance we get, let us all defend press freedom.
Hi everyone, this is Roxanne and Alex from the USA Publications Photography team. Thank you so much, Manila Times, for giving us this award.
We are honored to be chosen as this year's Best in Photography of such a prestigious event. Thank you also to our USA Publication family for trusting our skills.
Okay, thank you. Palangga pa kamo. Thank you everyone and have a great day ahead. Stay safe.
Okay, for Best Editorial, the winners are
Mabuhay! Ako si Heart Sosa mula sa Biato. Nais naming pasalamatan ang The Manila Times at The Manila Times College para sa gantimpalang ito. Talaga namang mahalaga ang paksa ng aming artikulo sapagkat ang lahat ng kabataan ngayon ay nasa internet.
Nais ko pong magpasalamat sa The Manila Times para sa pagbibigay ng parangalang ito bilang second runner-up. Isa pa rin itong malaking tagumpay para sa ang Biato. Nagpapasalamat naman po ako sa tagapayo ng publikasyon, Ginoong Torquera, at ang katuwang nakatagapayo, Ginoong Gamoso. Hindi namin kakayanin ito kung wala kayo.
Bilang katuwang na punong patnugot ng Ang Beato, ang opisyal na pahayagang pang mag-aaral ng UST Junior High School, ako po ay nagpapasalamat sa The Manila Times at sa The Manila Times College para sa paggawad sa aming pangulong tudling na pinamagatang Pandora's Box ng Netiquette bilang second runner-up sa Best Editorial Story mula sa kategoryang Filipino sa High School Division.
Una sa lahat, nais kong pasalamatan ng aming school principal na si Sir Reynaldo Vista, ganun din ang aming assistant principal na si Ma'am Imelda Corpus, at syempre ang aming school paper advisor na si Sir Jeffrey Liban. Nais din pasalamatan ang aking pamilya, kapwa kamag-aral at ang aming class advisor na si Ma'am Rowena Cabrera, na sa kabila ng pandemya ay taus-puso at walang sawa akong sinuportahan at ang aming school publication na The Harbinger. Ang aking pagkapanalo ay isang malaking motivation sa buong buo ng The Harbingers na patuloy na magsilbi sa mga mag-aaral ng Limay Senior High School at sa komunidad ng bayan ng Limay sa gitna ng pandemya.
We would like to thank the organizers of the 2020 Campus Press Awards, the Manila Times, and the Manila Times College. Thank you for recognizing Lugas student publication, especially my editorial article entitled Inklusibong Module ang Kailangan, which won us the best editorial story in Filipino. Lugas student publication joined this prestigious event for the first time in order to level up the engagement of our publication to pro-journalism events. I believe that Lugas is a competitive publication and this kind of competition really empowers campus journalism.
As one of the editors-in-chief of the Western Pioneer, I am honored and privileged to receive this award the Manila Times prepared. Having been in this field for a long time, I can say that a journalist must really have a stand in order to create a ripple effect for positivity towards the greater community. This prestigious award inspires not only me, but the whole publication to continue with our goal no matter what adversities we face. Amid the pandemic, we will not stop to pioneer change and be undeniably the best. Thank you, the Manila Times. Hail, University of Batangas.
Thank you, Manila Times, for hosting this event. I would also like to thank my school, St. Edward's School, as well as my SPA, Sir Paul, for guiding me and for contributing to my growth as a writer. I like to think that this event is a prime example of the importance of campus journalism in our society as well as in our youth, especially in such an age of rampant misinformation. As much as it has helped me, I also believe that what the Manila Times has conducted has the capacity to help others, especially in nowadays. Because of that, I would like to thank everyone for all of their efforts, everyone who has contributed into making this event successful, to making this event.
Hello, I am Hart Sosa from the Aquilian. We would like to thank the Manila Times and the Manila Times College for this award. Our article emphasizes the price of the youth's vote in the upcoming Halalan 2022. The youth, including us writers, are the hope of the nation.
As the editor-in-chief of The Opinion, the official student publication of the University of St. Tomas Junior High School, I would like to express my sincerest appreciation to the Manila Times and the Manila Times College for awarding our main editorial entitled The Prize of the Youth's Vote as the first runner-up in Best Editorial Story in the English category, High School Division. To the Filipino youth, as the hope of this nation, let us use our power and our voice to save our country from a possible prolonged darkness.
Hello everyone, I am Shernan Dave Nava, a grade 12 young student of Manila Colleges Incorporated and the current editor-in-chief of the collegian. Writing the editorial piece we have entered for the Best Editorial Story category, I have realized that getting the chance to participate in the Manila Times Campus Press Awards is already a candid privilege, but to literally bag the Best Editorial Story for this year is extremely unexplainable and surreal. I want to extend my sincerest gratitude to the Manila Times for recognizing my work as the best editorial story. You don't have any idea how much this means to me. Also, big thanks to our school paper advisor, Ma'am Lailani Campos, for always pushing us beyond the limits. To all young campus journalists out there, never stop writing. Padayon.
I am very grateful for this award, which is an excellent moral booster that will encourage me to continue doing my best work. I am also very appreciative of those who helped me. To my publication advisor, Mr. Norberto M. Natanio, thank you sir for your guidance and support. Also to all the writers of the Ticulo Student Publication and to all the students of the University of Rizal System Antipolo Campus, I am very pleased and grateful to accept this award in behalf of all of you. Most importantly, to the Manila Times and Manila Times College, thank you for organizing the journalism conference that exhibit the writing prowess of the student journalist. I will of course continue to do my best at the Ticulo Student Publication for as long as I remain there. Padayon.
Una sa lahat, nagpapasalamat ang communicator sa parangal na ito. Sa editorial na ito, sinasalamin lamang ni Dacom ang kanyang pagiging scholar ng bayan sa gitna ng pagsubok na kanyang hinaharap. Maraming salamat, Manila Times, naway patuloy kayong magbigay pag-asa at lakas sa katulad naming mga kabataang periodista ng aming henerasyon.
Thank you very much, Manila Times, and to the Manila Times College for organizing the Campus Press Awards, which provides the student journalists like us to speak their minds and stories. Likewise, I would also like to thank our technical advisor, Mr. Marvin C. Albiche, for guiding and encouraging us to promote responsible campus journalism. To our newly designated OIC President, Dr. Virginia D. Afiate, thank you for accommodating and showing your support to student publication. To BOT Secretary Ms. Tobelier and her staff, sincerest thank you for your assistance. And finally, to my TNPCJ family, your support and cooperation is highly appreciated. Stay safe and God bless.
Hello everyone, I am Princess Almira Jane A. Yusuf, a first-year college student and a junior correspondent of the Mindanao Tech, the official school publication of the University of Southern Mindanao. It is very hard to put the emotions on words. I am very thrilled and honored and thankful to be one of your awardees this year. I want to thank the organizers, the Manila Times, for organizing this wonderful event. I also want to thank our advisor, Professor Ann Colita, and our University President, Dr. Francisco Hilan Garcia, to the whole team of the Mindanao Tech, the writers, the cartoonists, the layout artists, the photographers. Thank you so much. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for your support. I also want to congratulate everyone who participated in this event. We all did great, and we are all winners. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.
In shaping the thought of today's society, it is important that one's ideas not only remain as scribbled words on a paper, but be published and given voice of its own. On behalf of the USA Publications, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to the Manila Times Campus Press Awards for recognizing the USA Publications editorial story. Not only did it make us feel honored, but it also enabled us to look at our past experiences to serve as prologue of future accomplishments. Thank you.
And now we have the winners for the best column.
It is an honor to have been chosen for this award. I feel really grateful to all the people who encouraged me to give it a shot, the people who helped me improve, and my family and friends for all the support. I was really not expecting it with all the talented people out there. My teachers and seniors were a great pillar to my success. Their training and knowledge were hugely influential. This award will always be a big memory to look back on. It'll always motivate me in my future challenges. Maraming salamat po.
Nais ko pong magbigay ng pasasalamat sa The Manila Times para sa gantimpala at pagkilala na inyong ibinigay sa aming gawa bilang una sa pwesto sa Best Column Story sa Pilipinas. Sana ay nagdala ng inspirasyon ang artikulong ito sa aming kapwa mamamahayag upang patuloy na sumulat para sa katotohanan at para sa pagbabago na nararapat sa ating bayan. Nais ko rin pong pasalamatan ang aming pamilya sa Banyuhay para sa walang sawang patnubay na kanilang ibinibigay sa amin. Magandang araw po sa lahat at muli, salamat po sa karangalan na aming natanggap.
Magandang araw, ako si Heart Sosa mula sa Biato. Nais kong pasalamatan ang The Manila Times at The Manila Times College para sa gantimpalang ito. Inaalay ko ang gantimpalang ito, pati na rin ang artikulong isinulat ko ng buong puso sa aking paaralan, sa Aquinian, sa Biato, at sa lahat ng kabataang Pilipino.
So just want to say that thank you so much for the award thing. Yeah, I never expected that I would get an award at any journalism event, but apparently I got first runner up in best column story, so it's good. So yeah.
I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Manila Times and the Manila Times College for awarding my piece entitled The Struggle in Freedom with Restraint as the first runner-up in Best Column in the English category High School Division. Allow me also to show my appreciation to the publication advisors of the Aquinian, Mr. Joram Kim Corcuera and Mr. Chris Gamoso. Thank you so much for your guidance and support. Most of all glory and praise to the Almighty Father who made this possible. Also, I dedicate this to my fellow student journalists. May we be able to deliver what must be delivered and uphold what must be upheld as we serve the nation.
Isang mapagpalayang araw. Una po sa lahat, nais kong magpasalamat sa lahat ng bumubuo ng The Manila Times Campus Press Award para sa rekognisyong ito at sa patuloy na pagkilala at pagsuporta sa mga campus journalists na katulad ko. Hindi po magiging posible ang rekognisyon na ito kung wala ang suporta ng buong FEU Advocate, ang editorial board, EIC Gio Castro, M.E. Rhea Payungayong, ang aming advisor na si Ma'am Liana Baro, at ang buong Filipino section. Higit pa sa pagsulat ng mga makabuluhan at mapagpalayang artikulo, naniniwala akong malaki ang papel na ginagampanan nating mga manunulat at mga campus journalists sa iba't ibang larangan upang patuloy na umusisa, kumibo, at makialam sa mga isyong panlipunan na sinasalamin ang iba't ibang karahasan at inustisya na ating dinaranas. Maraming salamat po.
Hello Manila Times, I'd like to thank you for acknowledging my entry, Online Shaming, the Delight on Someone's Pain, as the second runner-up in the Best in Column category. That is made possible because of my advisors and my fellow campus journalists who helped me with that article. And I'd like you to know that I'm very honored with this award, and I do promise to keep on igniting the spirit of journalism in me. Thank you and have a good day.
Hi everyone, I am Glyza from the USA Publications, and I am extremely honored to be receiving such an important award for my column entitled Futile Resilience at the Manila Times Campus Press Awards. Winning first runner-up would not have been possible without the inspiration and help coming from a mentor, colleagues, and seniors from whom I derive all the strength to challenge myself every day. Again, thank you very much and more power.
Good day everyone, thank you so much for having me here. I am extremely grateful to receive this award on behalf of our publication. This achievement wouldn't have been possible without their help, so I would also like to take this opportunity to thank my fellow staffers and editors from the COM for lending me this platform, our Sintang Paralan for creating a safe environment that promotes healthy public discourse and critical thinking for its students, my family and friends, and the Manila Times for giving us the opportunity to participate in this year's Campus Press Awards. Mula sa inyo para sa bayan, I am Hyacinth Estrada,
Thank you.
Okay, the best editorial cartoon winners are...
For the 2020 Campus Press Award, thank you for choosing me as second runner-up for editorial cartoon in Filipino. Thank you for conducting this kind of event, especially this time of pandemic. It's helpful po talaga sa aking co-journalist upang maipakita at mas maasa palalo ang aming mga kanya-kanyang mga talento. There's a saying na if the window of opportunity appears, don't pull down the shade. So, minsan na ganitong oportunidad, ngunit malaking bagay po ito para sa akin. Thank you po.
Thank you very much the Manila Times for this recognition. I would like to thank our school publications, Yes to Walk, for giving me the opportunity to express issues and opinions through cartooning. I will continue to serve the community through campus journalism. And again, thank you very much.
Good day everyone, I am Janica Matubis representing La Novel, the student publication of De La Salle University Integrated School. First of all, I would like to thank La Novel for helping me expand my horizons, not only as an artist, but also as a student journalist, with the aim to help the masses view public affairs and current issues through a different lens. It was in this organization I was able to realize it is not only our voices that can serve as a mouthpiece, not only through written words, but also through the visual arts that we create that help invoke the audience with the powerful message that we strive to voice out. As editorial cartoonists, we have a duty to shed light on the artistic truth, to educate, inform, and challenge the minds of our fellow countrymen. It is through our art's purpose we are able to help serve the Filipino people. And with this duty, let us continue to exercise and defend press freedom through our art. Manatiling patuloy ang paggawa ng sining para sa bayan. Maraming salamat muli.
Hello, the Manila Times. Thank you so much for this recognition. I would also like to thank and congratulate our publication, Tutorial Student Publication, for again making it in the top. Thank you so much, guys, and I am really blessed and honored to have you. Also, I would like to congratulate other winners from other schools and universities. It is really a great experience for us all to be here and to be recognized for our talents and hard work in journalism. Congratulations to us all, and thank you, the Manila Times. All glory and praises belongs to God. God bless.
Maraming salamat sa The Manila Times sa pagkilala sa The Communicator. Bilang iskolar ng bayan, asahan nyo na patuloy kaming magiging boses ng kabataan sa pamamagitan ng pamamahayag ng mga totoo at makabuluhang balita. Muli, maraming salamat.
And for the best literary piece, the winners are...
I would like to thank the Manila Times for the award of being the second runner-up for the Best Literary Piece. Of course, I would like to extend my gratitude to the opinion section editors and for the publication advisors for aiding me in writing the poem and for offering advice for me to write such a piece. I would like to dedicate this poem for those who suffer from injustices and may this piece of literature remind us of the horrors and beauty this world may offer.
A pleasant day to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank God for making all things possible despite the situation we are facing now. To the Manila Times and the Manila Times College, grateful to the company and the school for having this kind of contest to hone the journalistic skills of student journalists in the country. I now truly believe on first-timers' luck. In spite of limited trainings, I am able to make it. Maybe it is God's answer to my questions if I can really write something out of my own capability and try something out of my comfort zone. And I really thank Him for my achievements for making this part. To my family, thank you for believing in me and for the support. To Holy Nazarene Christian School, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of the harvest and practice my skills as an aspiring journalist. You made my last year in high school a memorable one that I can keep as I pursue my dream to become a teacher in the near future. To my teachers, thank you for your support, understanding, and giving considerations in all my schoolworks. To my co-journalists, thank you for encouraging me to try new things in life and for making good memories that I can keep as I continue my journey in college. You are the best group of people I know. Again, good day and congratulations to all winners.
Good day, everyone. I am Maria Sofia Menjala, Assistant EIC of the High School Publication of the Corps for the City of Malolos Integrated School Center, Rosario, under the supervision of Miss Tina C. Divina, and I am beyond grateful to have one of my works, Teen Idol, be recognized by one of the most reputable publications as this year's Best Literary Story for the Manila Times Campus Press Awards. To be on the receiving end of such a prestigious award has fanned the ever-growing flames of my passion for writing and has motivated me to further improve myself as a dedicated and diligent journalist. It truly is such an honor and privilege. Maraming salamat po.
Good day. I am Omar A. Memento, the Associate Editor of the Mindanao Tech, the student publication of the University of Southern Mindanao. I just want to say thank you to the Manila Times for adjudging my literary work as the second best literary piece. Indeed, literature moves people and stretches socio-political issues. Thank you.
Day to each and everyone who is watching this virtual ceremony. I am still dazed and shocked but extremely grateful that my piece The Light Beckons the Dark received this award. I extend my gratitude to the Manila Times for hosting this Campus Press Awards despite the current situation. This is my first time joining a national contest as a staff writer, so I would like to also thank the USA Publications for giving my piece this great opportunity. Thank you and I hope everyone will have a nice day ahead.
To accomplish my duty to just simply write purposefully for the masses is truly satisfying and fulfilling already. But to receive this kind of award is what totally makes me more inspired to serve the people. Maraming salamat po the Manila Times sa paggawad ng parangal at isang pagbati po sa buong administrasyon ng PUP, buong puwersa ng The Communicator at sa lahat ng kapwa ko iskolar. Ang tagumpay pong ito ay tagumpay nating lahat. Para sa malayang pamamahayag at laging para sa Diyos at para sa bayan.
You're on mute, Arlo.
Best Layout and Design, the winners are
The editorial staff of local
August publication would like to extend our greatest gratitude to Manila Times and the Manila Times College for choosing us the second runner-up in layout and design. It is our first award in layouting, that's why we're very much happy. Once again, thank you and
Good day! I am Shernan Neva.
I am Joshua Ines.
I am Ian Duque. And we are the layout and graphic artists of the school year school paper, The Collegian.
We are truly grateful for recognizing our work in this prestigious journalism event.
The hard work, efforts, and exhaustion exerted for this school paper are indeed worth it. Up until now, the feeling of success still feels real. The mere fact that this is the first time of our school to join the Manila Times Campus Press Awards, we are indeed fortunate to have been acknowledged by this distinguished occasion.
We are beyond thankful for the recognition.
This is not only the success of the three of us, but the success of the entire Camiling Colleges Incorporated.
Thank you, the Manila Times.
Good day, I am Aaron Rainer Esmelo, the Chief Layout Artist of the Westernian Pioneer, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank Manila Times in honoring our work, especially in the field of layouting and page design. Indeed, your organization truly inspired us, especially me. I personally dedicate this award to my family and our publication team who provide assistance in everything that we do. As the layout artist of the Westernian Pioneer, I will assure that I will still continue giving colors and wonderful ideas to the paper. Once again, I am Aaron Rainer Esmelo, the first runner-up for the best layouting and page design. Thank you very much.
We would like to thank the Manila Times for awarding us, the Aquinian, with the Best Layout and Design Award.
We would also like to dedicate this award to our fellow editorial board members who worked hard alongside with us, our publication advisors, and of course to our friends and families who have been supporting us all throughout the process of accomplishing these broadsheets.
The process was certainly not easy, but fortunately, the fruits of our labor has indeed been worth it as we were able to receive this award. Once again, we thank you very much.
We are very pleased and grateful to accept this award and a delight to represent our publication, the Tipulo Student Publication. We sincerely thank those who became part of this success, to our publication advisor, Mr. Norberto M. Natanio, to the campus director of the URS Antipolo, Dr. Danilo Pascual, to the TSP writers, cartoonists, and especially to the layout artists.
We proudly hold up this award as a mark of our hard work, dedication, and creativity for the layout and design category. Thank you very much, Manila Times, for this recognition.
I am really grateful to the Manila Times for this award. As a young student journalist, I know that this achievement is only the beginning of my long journey as a student journalist. I want to say thanks to the Mindanao Tech for giving me the opportunity to showcase my skills. This success is not only my success, it is our success. Above all, I also want to thank God for this huge blessing. Although I did not expect this, but I am deeply honored and blessed for this. Again, thank you Manila Times for this award.
So the design concept for the latest issue of the Augustinian Mirror is actually the most experimental that we have done so far. What if we put up a blank cover? What if we just strip away all the colors and go completely black and white in order to convey a message? What will happen? Well, we list down a lot of possible outcomes for that. One is we might lose numerous awards and recognitions in certain fields. Others might also say that we are being lazy or that we run out of ideas and things like that. But on the other hand, we will actually be able to try something different and explore new perspectives without the premise that we should only create for awards. On behalf of the USA Pub, I would like to thank the Manila Times for recognizing that vision of ours. To everyone involved in our creative process, Ma'am Christy, Emmy, Blysa, Jeff, Apple, to our entire team, thank you. To our beloved University of San Agustin, this one is for you.
And now we move on to the Best Student News website, and the winners are
Our hearts are overflowing with so much happiness and gratitude as we receive the good news from you. On behalf of the entire editorial staff of Lucas Publication, we would like to send our virtual pasasalamat to the Manila Times and Manila Times College for choosing us as the second runner-up in Best News website. Our greatest gratitude to you, ma'am, sir, for organizing such event in order for us to continue giving credible and reliable information on our website. Maraming salamat po.
Good day, I am Anjali Sato, Inc.'s Editor-in-Chief. On behalf of the team and Andrian Colleges, I would like to thank Manila Times for awarding Inc. the second runner-up in Best News Website and second runner-up in Best News Story. Inc. and The Run has always been more than the official newsletter of the school. It has become a home base for Titans to share their stories and experiences through their gifts of ingenuity. None of this would have been possible had not been for the Inc. team. I am honored to represent and work with dedicated and competent individuals who always apply the mission of Inc. in their works, which is to unite the Enderon community. I would like to congratulate the Inc. team for your hardworking efforts that led us here. May this serve as inspiration that will fuel your passion in igniting hope and uniting communities through writing.
We would like to thank the Manila Times for giving us the opportunity to be able to participate in the 2020 Campus Press Awards and exemplify the voices of truth. Even in unprecedented times and this challenging year, we must always continue the pursuit of truth as campus journalists.
This achievement wouldn't be possible without the help of the Lasallian community, Landavel team, editorial board, the leadership of our editor-in-chief, Tara Almar, and our moderator, Sir Dastan.
As the Aquinian, the official student publication of the USTGH's Assistant Online Editor, on behalf of the publication, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to the Manila Times for this prestigious award given to us for the best website. We would like to thank the administrators of the UST Junior High School for their unwavering support. With this, the Aquinian promises to continue providing relevant news to the student body. Once again, thank you.
On behalf of the FU Advocate, I would like to extend my sincerest gratitude to the Manila Times Campus Press Awards for this honor. The hard work of our publication's members, new and old, paved the way for us to launch our website just last year, and to discover that we have been given this recognition is truly remarkable. We have always strived to use our platform in truthful service, and this award has certainly only inspired and empowered the Advocate to continue being a vehicle of expression and of information to our community. So once again, thank you very much.
As the university switched to online learning, the USA Publications decided to create a platform that will make the publications closer to the student body. Our website features the publication's history, awards, editorial staff, programs, as well as our published works, making it more accessible to the Augustinians. On behalf of the USA Publication staff, thank you Manila Times and Manila Times College for this recognition.
Thank you, Manong Ken, for your expertise. Thank you to the rest of the USA Publications for the hard work, and to Ma'am Christy Dagway for the support. And thank you to the University of San Agustin.
The USA Publications will continue the legacy of responsive, developmental, and research-based campus journalism. Madamot gid na salamat.
All right, we have come to the most exciting moment for this event. We will be announcing the best student newspaper, and the winner for the high school level is the Aquinia. And we have with us the representative of the publication live.
A pleasant afternoon to everyone. First of all, allow me to express my gratitude to the Manila Times and the Manila Times College for awarding the Aquinian as the best student publication in the Philippines in the high school division. Honestly, working as one student publication became more challenging since we are in an online setup during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, we believe that now that we're living in darkness, our service is needed more than ever. With this, the Aquinian dedicates this victory to the Thamasian community. This is the fruit of our service to you. As the editor-in-chief of the publication, I would also like to take this opportunity to show our appreciation to Associate Professor Marichel P. Tropicalas, PhD, UST Junior High School Principal, Reverend Father Orlando C. Asaron OP, Regent, Mrs. Maria Victoria L. Torres, Assistant Principal, and Mr. Anthony C. Castro, School Secretary, together with the learning area coordinators and faculty members. Thank you for being encouraging and for showing your support for the whole team. To our publication advisors, Mr. Joram Kim Kerquera and Mr. Chris Gamoso, thank you so much for guiding us and for bringing out the best in each of us. We want to let you know that we deeply appreciate how you made time to be able to work with us despite your busy schedules. On behalf of the members of the Aquinian, I would also like to acknowledge our parents, families, and friends for constantly giving the care and support we need. To those whom we contacted for any information or advice, thank you for your understanding. Listeners, thank you for your time and effort. This is for your greater honor and glory. We wouldn't be able to achieve anything without you. Finally, we are now reaping the fruits of our perseverance and hard work. Congratulations, my fellow student journalists. Thank you for staying committed and dedicated to our work. Let me remind you that this is only the beginning and we still have a lot to do and accomplish. May this victory be an inspiration to all as we continue to perform and uphold our duty. Once again, thank you and good afternoon.
Congratulations to the Aquinian. How does it feel being chosen to be the best among the best?
The whole publication actually did not expect to receive the award. Of course, we're praying for it, but receiving the news was totally unexpected po.
Okay. Does this give you inspiration to pursue a degree in journalism?
Personally, I'm still undecided.
Okay, nevertheless, thank you very much and congratulations once again. Richmond?
All right. Congratulations again, Karil. Now we move on to the winner of Best Student Newspaper for the College Division. We have the Communicator from Polytechnic University of the Philippines.
Hello, good afternoon. In behalf of all the brave correspondents, contributors, and artists of the Communicator, we would like to thank the Manila Times for giving us the Best Student Publication Award for the College Division, as well as 7 other awards in this year's Campus Press Awards. As a fledgling campus publication that re-emerged from years of inactivity, this recognition means so much for our publication, our college, and our university. Amid the ongoing health crisis that is the COVID-19 pandemic, aggressive disinformation campaigns, and a lot of political issues, we will continue to uphold responsible and truthful journalism for the masses and to uphold our motto, which is to serve the students, seek the truth. We would also want to share these awards to the alumni of the communicator since its inception in 1998, as well as our school, the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, and our college, the College of Communication. To our Dean, Dr. Divina D. Pasumbal, Journalism Chairperson, Professor Hema D. Mora, our Advisor, Professor Soliman Santos, our professors, and our fellow scholar ng bayan for their utmost support for the publication and its causes. Also, we want to thank our parents who support us on our journalistic endeavors. Lastly, I want to take this opportunity to amplify the calls of our fellow scholar ng bayan and the PUB community. Sa panahon ng tumitinding panunupil sa kalayaan, sa pamamahayag at pagpapahayag ng saloobin, aming isinisigaw, defend academic freedom, defend press freedom. Maraming salamat po. Congrats, Lakom.
Okay, Richmond, do you have any question
Once
for the
again,
winner?
Yes, sir. Once again, Dan, congratulations. Since you mentioned that you had a lot of challenges and now you're only coming back, what is your inspiration this year?
Well, our inspiration is basically ourselves and our passion for what we want for our society. Kasi um, kami, iba-iba kami ng backgrounds. Yung iba sa amin ay hindi nanggaling, walang proper journalism background. Pero nandito kami at ginagawa namin yung best namin para makapaglathala ng mga artikulo, ng mga think pieces, and ng iba pang mga babasahin at iba pang mga visual graphics na makakapukaw ng damdamin at makakapagbigay ng impormasyon na makakatulong sa masa.
All right. Thank you for that. Yes, sir, Arlo.
Yes, it was unthinkable before that we can do this, but we have done this, right? So congratulations, everyone. And, I wish I had the opportunity as this young campus journalists they have right now. But anyhow, thank you for this opportunity also for asking me to host with you, Richmond.
Yes,
And
sir.
we hope that it's gonna be like this again, more exciting because hopefully when everyone is vaccinated, we can do it face to face.
Yes, sir. The pleasure is all mine, diba, to co-host with a legend like you. So again, congratulations to all the winners and everyone who participated in this year's Campus Press Awards. Hopefully, when this pandemic is over, we will be handling the awards personally and each other's company face to face next year. So makikita nyo na kami next year ni Sir Arlo na magkatabi.
Yes. Maybe it's a wrap up. Anyway, for those who are watching right now, the winners are announced through our Facebook page sa The Manila Times. So as we were announcing the winners, napopost din doon real time kung sino yung mga winners in each category. Again, it's just a wrap up. Why are we having this Campus Press Awards? Okay, the Campus Press Awards aims to recognize the works of student journalists, nasabi mo na ito kanina pero ulitin ko lang, as well as inspire them to continue developing their interest in journalism. The Manila Times and the Manila Times College believe that good journalists are assets to the country, and our newspaper and college want to contribute to the development and future writers, photographers, and other professionals in the media industry. So, Richmond, since nasa Manila Times College ka, would you encourage our watchers, the students out there, to join the college or probably pursue journalism in other universities?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. By all means po. Pero hindi na tayo lalayo. So, I would be telling you na if ever you're interested to enroll in journalism or broadcasting, the Manila Times College, Manila Campus, and Subic Campus is open for your inquiries and for your possible enrollment.
Okay, thank you again for sponsoring us, Huawei and URC. Congratulations, everyone. And for pulling this through, we would like to thank the Manila Times Marketing and Sales Advertising team, of course, our COO, Ms. Blanca Mercado, our Advertising Director, Ms. Roda Sabat, the very hardworking account manager, Shane Carbonell, who has been very, very busy in doing this, and the people in the editorial department, especially Miss Lynette Luna, our national editor. And you know what? She's also the executive producer. And of course, the people at MIS, we would like to thank Vines, Sherwin, Ian, and also Neil Reyes for helping us in the videos. And also our friends, our colleagues at the Manila Times, uh, even at the Manila Times TV, and of course our boss, Sir Clink, and our chairman, Dr. Dante Arevaloang. And our endeavors, we dedicate this to our Heavenly Father, Almighty God, for guiding us all through the years, especially in this time of pandemic.
Okay, so guys, please don't forget to like and follow the Manila Times on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe as well to the Manila Times channel on YouTube and Daily Motion. You can also subscribe to the Manila Times digital edition and read all articles at www.manilatimes.net.
And we will be running the story of the Campus Press Awards 2020 tomorrow in the Manila Times. So if you cannot get a print copy, you can access our website. In fact, we encourage you to subscribe to our digital edition. So all the winners, the students, the mentors, everybody else, all the participants, you can read the story tomorrow in the Manila Times. Again, thank you, Richmond. Thank you, everyone. See you next year in the 5th edition of the Campus Press Awards. Of course, it's pandemic, so don't forget, mask, hugas, iwas. Keep safe, everyone. Thank you.
There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. The special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million